This is my commentary track for Ancient Aliens D2ALL UV Max in 3 hours, 39 minutes, and 55 seconds. Yeah. This is map 1. This map kind of sucks. No, I love the level, but the gameplay is very, very random with this cyber demon in the center. So it kind of, as far as, I'm glad you reset here. You do it right at the very beginning, but you see this guy just fucking walking around, barely shooting anything. There we go. That was a good one. Shot that motherfucker in the back. That's right. Yeah. But, so these little caves spawn in some guys. You want to run around, spawn in all the guys, and just hope the fucking cyber demon shoots everything. That's kind of how the map goes. Very random, very chaotic start, but most of these levels are actually not like that, so. And you know what? I like the gimmick overall. I don't want to start this off with complaining. I'm just, there's just a lot to complain about. It's just not my fault, but, good level, pretty solid. Again, just every second that you shoot anyone after like the 1 minute mark is just thanking the cyber demon for not doing anything. But that's first map. This one here, this is map 2, Sanctum of the Wastes. Is that what it is? Let me hit tab here. Yeah, hit tab. This level, I use a lot of the shotgun. I shoot a lot of these shotgunners in advance. The guys on the platforms, the ledges. I just hate getting sniped. My general overview for doing this entire run is I want to limit the chances. By the way, horrible punching, terrible, just the worst. I want to limit my chances of just like relying too much on randomness. So like when it comes to the shotgunners in this level, there's just a fuckload, and any one of them can kind of shoot you at any minute. So I just want to reduce reliance on them not shooting me, right? I'm relying on not getting shot, and I want to reduce that reliance. I was trying to accomplish this demo over the course of about 2 weeks. I took a lot of breaks in that time span, so maybe about 8 or 9 days of actual attempts. This is a almost 4-hour run, so like getting the time together to like block out like 5 to 6 hours, like you're probably gonna die once here and there. But this run I did straight away in the morning. I was a little bit tired. I had not yet had coffee. I had it available. Just slowly sipping it because I don't anticipate my first run of the day to, and I don't think this is my first. I probably died on map 1 a couple times, so reset there just for more favorable rockets. But it's like the first one that makes it past like the 5 to 10 minute mark. So a lot of the punching here is not so good. I had just woken up. I was slowly sipping my coffee, so the gameplay kind of gets better. But also, again, I'm trying not to die. The history of this category, for me, I have done this category with saves plenty of times. I used to be a little bit of a streamer a long time ago, and I would frequently stream this WOD with saves, getting somewhere around 4 hours, 4.5 hours. That was about 9 years ago. In the interim, there was another run, asterisk, of this done by a speedrunner named Dyrick, who did a 4 hours flat run, but misses 1 kill, so that, that kind of stinks. But other than that, this has been pretty empty category. For me, this is something I've been trying to kind of muster up the time. Again, this is a major time investment because it is like a 4-hour-ish run. And so, by the way, I love this level. This level's awesome. But like, it's a long time investment, and so I've been kind of really putting it off for several years. In January of 2024 was when I decided I'm definitely going to do this. And I didn't have the time available to me at that period in my life to really just dedicate, because it's not like dedicating like 5 hours once a week or something, you know, like in between the week you're going to like get rusty, you know, so it's like you kind of have to dedicate not only a significant portion of hours, but like you have to get a lot of those days as close in proximity to each other so that you don't like forget things, you know, because like I play the first half of the game a lot more than I play the second half of the game. So, like, you don't want to get to a point where it's like, oh, I haven't played level 24 in 3 weeks, you know, what do I do? So it's like, it's not only the time sink of the run itself, but it's making sure you get a lot of contiguous days at the attempts. So, I like this level quite a bit. There's not too much to say. This is a pretty standard run through. Yeah, you know, I say a lot. I get a lot of comments of people that are very upset when I do that. So, I just have to mention that. So, you know, get mentioned. This was my 144th D2ALL attempt, by the way. I would say about 100 of them probably died in the first 30 minutes. The thing with doing a run like this is like, there are some days where it's like I had the whole day blocked out, like I got like 12 hours of contiguous runtime. So like I would try really hard, you know, a little bit of a try hard on the first episode. So there'd be a lot of times where I die on the, like, level 7 sometimes, you know, level 8 as well. Level 8's got a lot of hard parts. Level 9, a little bit, but that's... I did a lot of line skips of teleporters here. Here's level 4, by the way. So, this was attempt 144. Out of the runs that got past, I think, the first episode, I probably had, like, I want to say 15 runs that got past episode 1. The level I died in the most after episode 1, and episode 1 is very easy in comparison. I got fucked up by those shotgunners. I got scared as hell here. I forgot that happened. But episode 2 is where it starts to get like really difficult, right? So the level I had the most deaths on was map 15. So in this run, I was very safe in map 15. If I do this again, I would not be as safe, and I'll explain more about that when we get there. We're still only on map 4 here. I get comments sometimes of people that say that they don't like looking at Doom in this resolution. I have a 1080p upload on my other YouTube channel, Doom Speedruns, so you can check that out, or download the demo, configure your source port in any way you want, and watch it on your machine. I'm gonna try not to do any rewinds, so if you want to do that, and it will stay in sync if you do that with this video, unless I rewind at some point, which I might, but I'm gonna try not to do. So I'm just pointing that out. I do play the game and record demos with this resolution. This is how I play the game, so just throwing that out there. That is how I play it. I at some point may also pause this commentary, so I hope that that doesn't desync if you want to look at it with the higher render resolution or whatever. But you know, this is a 4-hour run, and I did block out 4 hours to do commentary. Well, you know, I might need to use the bathroom in 4 hours, so it is possible I paused this. This level causes a little bit of problems. I saved that soul sphere for the end. It was only 15% here, but it's just muscle memory to get it at the end. I like to enter 5 with enough health. But Bad Medicine Men, I kind of did meta commentary over the whole level, but it's not too difficult. The Archies can be a little problematic, but most of the time, when you know where the little pedestals are to block their incoming fire, it's not too literal fire in this instance. It's not too difficult. This level, I try to get a lot of shots on the Cyber Demon as I'm walking around, because that delays infighting. So what I like to do is shoot the Cyber as soon as possible, and then try to bait them to shoot at either these Cacos, which is very difficult to get to work, or the Hell Knights that spawn, And because I shot the Cyber Demon first, I have priority. And so that means the Hell Knights or Kakos can do extra damage. And so that's how I whittle this guy away, which is less for time. I wasn't too concerned about time. You know, this is a speed run, but of course, this is a also first, you know, done. You know, again, I did mention there was a 4-hour run by someone named Dyrick. I'm not too familiar with them, so my apologies. But the run was pretty solid, but it does miss a monster. So, you know, again, I could have gotten like a 5-hour run, and technically it would still be world record, right? So I wasn't too concerned with the run time-wise, but it's more so I'm saving ammo. So that is more beneficial for safety reasons, right? So like saving ammo, like rockets or cells, is beneficial for time, but it's like there's a lot of areas where it's like, oh shit, I'm about to die. Let me press 6 and hope I don't, you know? Like, so I want to have plasma available for as much as the game as possible for that reason. So, and it also has the benefit of saving some time too. But that's the main thing. If you can get the Cyber Demon to be infighting, like while you're fighting these Manx in that room as well, this little section, it's very beneficial. I fell down here. Sometimes I fall down here on purpose to shoot this Pain Elemental. This Pain Elemental causes me a lot of problems. I just, there's no way to really make it clean. I've tried many times, and it's just not fucking possible. But anyway, here's the last key. These imps up here can be really annoying, so I try to maybe kill 1 or 2 while I can. I killed 0 there, so I had to shoot again. I like to get that soul sphere before I go here if I need it. Sometimes I still have plenty of health from map 4, but I like to get that one before I go in here, because what I like to do is get this guy to shoot the cloud of revenants. It's not as easy as it looks. A lot of the times the revenants get tagged by those shotgunners in the room with the Pain Elemental, and they don't like to group up that well, so you'll get like the cyber shooting at like 3 or 4 instead of like, I think there's 6. I'm not sure. There's quite a bit. So that happens. This guy, I did not intend on that guy being there. That scared the shit out of me. I almost got fucking shot and killed. By the way, I just want to say I love the music in this game. When doing runs of this, I didn't stream any of these, and I didn't, like, you know, listen to like podcasts or audiobooks or anything. I didn't listen to other music at all. Nice death there with 3 guys left over. It kind of sucks, but whatever. The music in Ancient Aliens is just amazing. It really, like, I'm just struggling to come up with a phrase in the English language to describe how much I enjoy it, but it's truly phenomenal. My favorite pieces of music are in the 2nd episode overall. I will mention them when we get there, but wow. I mean, just again, like, when I was playing this game, I was trying to immerse myself in the game world as much as possible. So I tried to limit distractions. I would shut my cell phone off. You know, hopefully no one dies and needs to contact me. And that did not happen. So, so we are lucky in that instance. But, you know, again, some things I like doing while I do runs is sometimes I will consume marijuana. So, don't do that, kids. I'm an adult, so I get to do it. But if you're a kid, you can't. Sorry, those are the rules. I feel like this game goes very well with those types of substances. There are other substances I would like to use while playing Ancient Aliens, but it may make playing the game actually difficult. Which, this is a hard run. I like to use a lot of rockets here, by the way. Just group them all up, rocket the shit out of them. But this is a hard run. I mean, it's not, it may actually literally be the hardest demo I've ever done, like in terms of difficulty. I've been speedrunning Doom for about 13 years. I first started dabbling in Doom speedrunning in early 2013. I didn't start recording demos for a little bit later. But this, I believe, may be the most difficult thing I've ever done. One thing that should go without saying, but you never know who watches these kinds of things, is that demos are recorded without deaths. So, I mentioned earlier I did do runs of this when it came out in 2016, 9 years ago or so. I would do runs of it with saving and loading. Difficult, but when you can save and reload anytime, it's not nearly the same thing. So again, this is a single segment experience, no deaths at all, except for the episode resets, you know. But yeah, this map here, pretty simple. Just shoot the archviles as soon as possible. I don't think you need me to tell you that. Or maybe you do, I don't know. I love purple, by the way. I just wanted to mention that. But yeah, the music, just goddamn. I mean, it's map 7, which is the next level, has one of the best songs in the game. I said before, my favorite collection of songs is in the second episode. But map 7 may be the best song in the game. It's a candidate for best song in the game. We'll get there very soon. I love killing all 4 of those shotgunners in one shot there. I got those 2, but I did not get the 4 shotgunners this time. I did get a triple there. That's cool. I love this next level, map 7. I love this level. When I hit this level, this is when I kind of get a little bit more serious, you know? Like, the music is really fucking good. This level's kind of difficult. It's not a pushover. The music is just so good. I don't know, it's just, this is when I kind of get in the zone. Not to say that the music or the levels 1 through 6 are not as good, but they are not as good. This is like the first level that I would say is genuinely just a perfect masterpiece. I mean, I would consider the entire experience to be a 10 out of 10 masterpiece, but like, this level by itself is so fucking good. I really don't know how else to say it. I love it. It's great. I get this mega armor first, skipping the one in the Kako room that I was just at. Skipping that one, I like to get that mega armor as it's close to the exit. I like to get it in preparation for map 8. So, one thing about doing this as a movie, which means the whole game in one sitting, as opposed to individual levels, is that I was trying to think about when and where to use ammo and health items in conjunction with future levels and stuff, as opposed to just playing the game and, like, you know, just picking up and using as what you get as you get it. I was trying to do some form of planning ahead, mostly just for safety. So, you know, getting that mega armor there, it's right next to the exit, so you might as well save it, use it for the next level. Again, I wish I got that 4 kill there, but the super shotgun wasn't doing me any favors. Fun fact about the super shotgun is this is a boom wad. I will not explain what that means. If you don't know what it means, I guess look it up on the Doom Wiki. But Ancient Aliens is a boom wad, as opposed to vanilla or limit removing. And the super shotgun does a net lower damage in boom than it does in vanilla. So an average super shotgun strike will do less damage in boom than it does in vanilla. And that is because of the way boom handles RNG, random number generation. So fun fact for you. Thank you to Billa, who is a speed demo user, for sharing that fun fact with the world. I normally play a lot of vanilla material. I would say I much prefer vanilla and limit removing wads. I mean, there's no real reason, I guess, outside of just that's my taste. The people that make wads that are compatible with that are often the ones I like the most, quantity-wise. However, this one is the one I like the most overall. This is my favorite wad. I balance between this and Memento Mori, but this is my favorite of, like, the non-vanilla or limit removing, the non-classic Doom style. This is by far my favorite of that style. But I also just love, like, classic Doom. I love Memento Mori. Fuck. I like to do this room last because the teleport destination, you'll notice that every key you get is preceded by a teleport that has, like, an eagle. Which, by the way, just, oh my god, wow, it's perfect, it's beautiful, it's amazing, holy shit, I love it. But also, this one puts you, at the end, you'll see in just a moment, closer to the exit than any of the other teleporters. So I like to do this one last, as it's slightly closer to the exit, as you can see right here, as opposed to having to, like, climb all the way back up or whatever. You just hop back down and now you're at the exit area. So again, Soul Sphere and the Mega Armor, I should enter Map 8 with full 200-200. And Map 8 is not a pushover. Map 8 is pretty difficult. Skip the exit again. Map 8 is called Ancient Aliens. This is the title track, everybody. And again, I gotta say, the music, it's just too much. It's too much. It should not be. No video game music or just piece of music in general should be as good as Map 8's music. And yet here we are in Map 8, Ancient Aliens of Ancient Aliens, the WAD. This level introduces the UFO motif that is heavily featured in the rest of the game, primarily in Episode 2. So, if I understand this correctly, and I may not, because I did not create this WAD, but I believe I remember seeing Skillsaw say that Ancient Aliens was originally going to be a single episode experience. And so, that's why you have the level entitled Ancient Aliens appear so early in the game. At least that's my assumption. If there is any moment where I'm not speaking, it's because I'm just watching the game. I mean, look at this. I left that Revenant there on accident. That would kind of suck. This section here is a little claustrophobic. You gotta make sure you don't forget an imp or a specter. There's 2 specters. Honestly, I don't remember how many imps there are. Like 4? Maybe? Maybe 5. I don't know. I just shoot until they're dead. Right? Look at that. And again, unfavorable rocket damage. This section here, you can get murdered pretty quickly. There's a swarm of revenants that spawn behind you. There they are. You really want to get 3 shots on the Mankubi here, because if you don't, you can you'll be stuck out there and you might get hit by one of these. I like to bring the 200-200 into this level because of this room, this exact fight right here. But this run, I actually got a lot of big damage, so I only came in with 100-100, which was kind of unfortunate. Somehow this guy's alive. I had to pepper him with 1 more shot, if you can believe it. The music, so good. God damn. This is some good shit. Like, can we all just state for the record here? This is some good fucking shit, okay? This is really good. That's it. That's all I have to say. Like, do I need to say anything else for the rest of this? I don't think so. Not to get too esoteric, of which I am someone who often does, but this is possibly a candidate for the best video game of all time. And I don't mean just Doom as a game, but Doom as a as an umbrella. And this WAD being at the pinnacle of that umbrella. I recommend this to anybody. Any single human being who is alive on planet Earth, I feel like would enjoy this for a multitude of reasons. Primarily the gameplay. Doom is, of course, the best gameplay framework of all time. The weapons are perfect. The enemy roster is perfect. The lack of a Z axis for height, for looking, is perfect. It allows the gameplay to be faster, more focused, more direct. It's a perfect game without any flaws. And of course, Ancient Aliens, the WAD, is... every level is perfect. Gameplay, perfect. Atmosphere, perfect. Colors, perfect. Music, perfect. It's just a perfect experience. I really don't have anything other to say. I mean, you're gonna hear me say this a lot. We're, what, 30 minutes in? We got, like, 3 hours to go. I avoid entering this lift room. Earlier, you saw me dance around it a little bit because it pops those two guys up and they can shoot you from above earlier. So I want to do this section last so I get the 200% armor and then get that soul sphere so I am at max 200 once again, because this room here, this is probably the hardest fight in the level. So coming at it with anything less than 200 and you're kind of setting yourself up for a potential situation. You just have to kind of hope that these archviles don't fuck you over. I saw them both group up here, so I was like, oh yeah, let's bring out the rocket launcher. That's a good idea. And then immediately, terrible idea. But I saw them both line up like that, and I was like, shit, rockets, yeah. And then by the time I started shooting, my opportunity had already eroded. There's a couple rockets. I get the Berserk there because sometimes I like killing the last two Barons with the Berserk. So, just giving myself the option to have fun later. You should be at 147 dead guys, but there is an enemy that I'm worried about, so I am leaving with 146, and I am a little nervous. I punched this guy just for fun. Yeah, that's right, just to say I could. And I did, because I could. Shot the wall there, which kind of sucks. You really want to duck in here as soon as possible because of the double archviles. This level loves fucking archviles. There's two in the very first area I did. There's 3 in the green UFO. And then there's 2 right here. Jesus. Give me a break. There's gonna be another one coming up, by the way. Spoiler. Holy shit. But it's okay. Secretly, deep down, we all love archviles. They're just great. Speaking of great, I love the music. Ah. Just look at this fucking shit, dude. If you've never played Ancient Aliens, what are you doing with your life? That's like saying, you know, I'm trying to come up with something similar, and I'm struggling. But it's like saying you've never tied your shoes, you know, in a way. You're not a real advanced, full and finalized human being if you haven't played this game all the way through from start to finish. It is a perfect experience, and it's free. Think about that. It's the best video game of all time, and it's free. Like, that's something that should be illegal. Like, think about it, man. Wow. It's like if the best books of all time were free. Oh, wait. They are. Anyway, that last room with the Archvile and the Revenants and the Mankubi, pretty difficult. I died there a couple times. That's like, to me, this is like the end of like the first chunk of, like I said, 7 is really where I start to get in the zone. Because I need to, like, you know, it started to get really difficult. Level 9 is long. It's like a 12, 13 minute map. 10 if you're doing well. If you're doing really nicely, it's a 10-minute map. So 9's a little bit long. This one's long too, but whatever. It's not as long. Here's some punching I mentioned. But yeah, so, you know, it's the first half hour. I like to enter map 9 below 30 minutes. At some point in the next few days, I will post my fastest episode 1 time. Which, I believe entered this level at around like a low 28, like 28:20 or something. So, just throwing that out there. Just throwing numbers. Most people wouldn't understand the numbers, but someone might in the future. Might get a kick out of these numbers. Those 3 rockets, that's the Holy Trinity right there. Sometimes 1 or 2 guys survive. Like, there was one guy with like a little bit of health. But I love the Z-axis combined with rockets. Something about them. It's just some good stuff. There's 2 pain elementals. I like to wake them up and hope that they crowd right here. So that I can limit the chances of them spewing out millions of lost souls. Only one of them this time did that, but that's why I kind of stayed in that area for a little bit of an extended period of time. This level could be done quite a bit faster if you were open to a soft lock. There is one area of this game, or this level I should say, and this game, because the level's in the game, where a monster can get stuck on a floor as the floor moves up, which can just break the level. You just get stuck in a room called a soft lock. It happened to me several times, and so I decided I want to kill everything before entering that area. If you're okay with a soft lock, it would be much faster to just run by all these guys and kill them at the very end. That would maximize opportunity for them to kill each other. However, again, I did get the soft lock quite a few times, and so I didn't really want to deal with that. I'll explain the mechanism when we get to that exact location on how it works and why. But needless to say, it is annoying, and I don't like it. So I did take a slower route as a way to avoid that completely. And the slower route is just you kill everything here. Because I want to kill everything in the outside area, not necessarily this area. So what I do is I kind of run by the outside area. Then a lot of those guys will start killing each other. So then while that's happening, I sweep this area, which is actually the exit area. By the way, just fucking look at these squares. Oh my god, something about these goddamn squares. Holy shit. Oh, fuck. It's so good. It's such good shit, man. Oh, Jesus. Oh, fuck. I'm having a panic attack. It's so good. But anyway, that's why I do this section at the very beginning. It would be faster to do all of this later, but then you have to roll with a chance for a soft lock. Right here, this area I'm standing on right here is a key factor with the soft lock. I'll explain it again later. I like to shoot these 3 Mankubi a little early because they're horizontally in a favorable position for splash damage. And also, they can really fuck your shit up later on. Gotta worry about those guys. Sometimes the Kako gets woken up there. So I kind of fucked this all straight to hell. Terrible. I had 1 rocket left, which I did not anticipate on having 1 left. I like to have more than 0 in this section, but alas, I have 0. But it's okay because there is a large cache coming up. Some people like to say cache. Cache. I do admit that is a superior pronunciation. Cache. But, whatever. These 4 shotgunners, you can see them on the little pedestals. It's easy to forget them. A lot of the times they just die via infighting. And if you're relying on that, sometimes there's going to be one left over. I like to shoot this guy for the same reason I stated about level 5. It delays infighting onset a little bit. Now this coming up room here, I think it went really poorly in this run. Yeah, oh no. Oh, Jesus, oh God. Normally, oh fuck, and they just, oh gee. I was shitting my shit at this moment. Normally, I don't get hit at all. I have a good setup. Those 2 pillars here, best friends. However, this time, I missed some rockets. I got discombobulated. Again, this is like, I had woken up like an hour before this. So, I'm still sipping on my coffee. You know, excuses. But, it is my excuse. So, I got really nervous. But again, I recovered. Somehow, I made it through. By the way, I know I have to do it again. The music is just so good. Holy shit on my shit. I'm missing way too many rockets, so I got a little frustrated, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna use the plasma. Yeah, that'll get him. And I was like, oh, I don't want to use too much plasma. Like I said before, entering the 0 plasma zone is always very scary in a run like this. The plasma, especially after you get the BFG, the so-called big fucking gun 9000. But the plasma is kind of the oh shit button. You're about to die, oh shit, hit the plasma button. So I like to keep more than 0 at any time. There are times where I do go to 0, and it does make me nervous. You know, it's like walking around in public with your fly unflied. You know, it kind of makes you nervous. I mean, oftentimes people do that on accident. So I guess they wouldn't be nervous. Well, like maybe it happened to you several times and now you're nervous, so you just check. You just check, you know, you just grab your crotch once in a while you're minding your own business. You just do a little crotch check, make sure the zipper is zipped appropriately. That's how I feel when I do not have a large quantity, or even just a bare minimum quantity. Like 80 cells, that's good, that's solid. Again, make sure you kill that shotgunner over there. Yep, double check for that guy. That guy was a little sneaky in the corner. But now, he's with the coroner. Huh? Pretty good. You gotta admit, that was good. You didn't see that one coming. Maybe you did. If you didn't, you haven't been here for long enough. I like to clear these guys out here. Again, it would be a little quicker to do it later, but I do want to avoid a soft lock. I'm not sure if these guys have too much to play with the soft lock, but, you know, a little bit of it is just like, I don't want to die, dude. You know, it's a hard game. I gotta tell you, the music is really good. I just, in case no one knew that, I had to mention it again. The music was composed by Doom user Stewboy, who is probably the best in the biz, I have to say. There's a lot of excellent Doom MIDI musicians out there. But again, Ancient Aliens, it's perfection. It's just so good. I know I keep saying it, and you're gonna hear it a lot more, but fuck. Again, I killed those 3 Manx a lot earlier for this reason. Sometimes they can cause you trouble there. And frankly, they get into a position where splash damage is more difficult. So, technically, it's actually faster to shoot them from the bitch position. You see? You understand? Sometimes having guys still in this section can be a little problematic. It makes this section go from free to very expensive. But, again, I chose to kill most of the guys in the first half. It is a slower decision, but it is significantly safer. These 3 archviles, they can be a little problematic. Sometimes, like, 2 will target you and then 1 won't. And so you rush to hide, and then 1 will just kind of chase you down and start reviving the demons in front of you. Causes a lot of problems. I got that encounter very well this time. I like this part here. Check this out. Boom, boom. And then fucked it up. You know, I like to line them up and kill them both with the 1 shot. I actually fucked it up this time. So this floor here will raise. And if there is a monster below, it will get stuck. And that is the soft lock I mentioned. Which happened to me several times, to the point where I just decided to kill everything beforehand. But again, it is faster to avoid killing everything beforehand. It gives them maximum in-fight time. And they will all die in this section here without any effort at all. Not, you know, like when I get to the end of this hallway. You'll see, you'll see. Everything will die here, pretty much. But, again, I had the soft lock happen to me twice, and I was like, I don't mind dying because I suck at games, but I do mind dying to a preventable soft lock. You may think, if I'm calling this WOD perfect, how do I reconcile the fact that there's a glitch that breaks it? And the answer is, I don't have to reconcile that. Fuck you. It's still perfect. As far as I'm concerned, it's just relegated to interesting trivia. There's gonna be an archvile here, so watch out. And of course I got fucked. And there's no health. Oh no, where's the health? And then I think I fall here because I'm stupid. Yep. Can you believe this is the one that this is the one that actually beat the game, and now I have to embarrass myself showing you that? Ugh. Speaking of embarrassment, I am embarrassed that I will never compose any piece of music as good as this fucking level's song. Oh my god. I love the music on this level. This is the ultimate episode ender. That is to say, the last level of the first episode. Ancient Aliens has 3 episodes. Maps 1 through 10. 11 through 18, including 31-32. And then 19 through 29. That is the episodic breakdown. In between episodes, there are mandatory death exits. And those mandatory death exits take your weapons away. So that is why they are noteworthy. I like to kill these arachnotrons if I can. Yeah, got one of them. Sometimes they can annoy me when I'm fighting these archviles. I love the music. It's just I have to mention it. Wait, just it gets better. It's ramping up. Hold it. We're almost there. Oh, it's so good. I like waiting to kill these guys later, by the way. I didn't mention it, but there's a lot of guys that spawn in here, and they'll all pretty much kill themselves. And then rocket splash damage from high above when you kill the cacos will deal with a lot of them. Lots of easy and quick and fun rocket splash giblets. Some people say giblets. I disagree with those people. I like to kill these guys with the rockets so that I don't have to switch back and forth, and then I like to kill these guys ahead of time. I could kill them at the end as well, but I prefer to kill them here. It's just, I don't know, easier to keep track of for me. This section here can be pretty challenging. You really want to try to optimize splash damage. The challenge here is not so much in the enemies, but rather the claustrophobia. You have to be very well versed with how much health each Hell Knight has, so that you know when you can kill one to cut through a corner if you need to. And again, I do have a lot of plasma as my oh shit button. But I want to save as much plasma as I can because there is the game's first big fucking gun 9000 that is coming up. This, I hate this guy. Shooting this guy, oh, Jesus. Oh, God. You can hit the switch over and over. Makes a cool sound. I like to kill these revenants before I drop down. Just makes me feel better about myself. So here we go. There are going to be 3 cyber demons. I took a lot of damage here. I've already lost 3/4 of my health, so this is a great start. Ideally, you get the cyber demons to get distracted and infight, so you can sneak up and shoot them. Or you can nearly die on the first one, failing a very easy cyber dance, then run around in a very panicked state and hope it doesn't happen again. I'll let you decide which option is quicker and more efficient. I will be honest, this is not my best. So right here again, ooh, ew, juicy, oh! Sure, it took me a while to get there, but in the end, I will be honest with you, when I'm doing a movie like this, I tend to lean on the side of the noob BFG school of thought. If I can kill them in 4 shots, but it's like I don't have to use my brain at all, I'd much rather do that than kill them in 2 shots and then fuck it up like I did. I tried to do the 2-shot on the first guy and then I totally fucked it up. So I got scared and I was like, you know what? Let's just do it like the noobs would. Yeah. I think I almost died here because of poor play. Yep, check that out. Oh, look at that though. And that is episode 1 in 48 minutes and 44 seconds. Hopefully this commentary is entertaining. Hopefully it is elucidating. Yeah, I mean, I hope it is. I Anyway, here we go. Episode 2 on the origin of Spacies. This level can be a little difficult. Right there, I could have gotten a heavy shot by that shotgunner, but I really lucked out. This level has a lot of parts to it that can really fucking murder you. So I chose to just try to do everything with the ultimate form of safety strats. So all the shotgunners are high priority. Try to get them killed as soon as possible. Coming up are the introduction of the titular ancient aliens. Here we go. This section can be a little difficult. It's a long lift. So I like to run out here. Makes it very easy. They'll line them up. Now this section can be difficult. There's a chain gunner here. If they're having a bad day, they can make you have one as well. But as soon as you go down the stairs, a bunch of these guys pop around. So you gotta be careful. You know, just dodge. One thing I will say, having played Ancient Aliens to an absurd degree, probably more than most people throughout my life. I mean, there's even a chance I've played this game more than the authors. However, I must say, very recently have I fully kind of understood how the aliens work in movement. A lot of that understanding came from, I made a slaughter map with the Ancient Aliens assets called Atlas of the Four-Fingered Queendom. And so when I did that, I wanted to make sure I understood the alien movement patterns and when they start shooting and all that stuff. Because, you know, if you're designing a slaughter map around it, it helps to know how that shit works. So I will say, making that level helped me understand the alien movements, especially also the barrel revenant fucking guys that are coming shortly. Those guys also, you know, like a year or two ago, I didn't quite understand it. But now I understand all the intricacies of the movement. And it helps in preventing getting shot by high damage dealing revenant rockets or plasma bolts. I like to prioritize using the shotgun here because bullets are a little bit scarce going forward. Shortly. I mean, you know, not forever, but just in the near future. Again, bullets are very scarce. So here are these fucking guys. I died probably the most deaths enemy-wise, like what enemy killed me, were those fucking guys. Like as far as post-episode 1, like getting out of the first episode deaths, I got killed by those fucking guys, the Guardians or whatever, the Guardians. I got killed by them so fucking much. Okay, map 14, map 15, which I mentioned earlier. Ah. They did a number on me, I'll tell you. Here we are on map 12, Magenta Heat. I think that's what it's called. No, check, yeah, there you go, Magenta. Don't you love magenta? In Doom? Can you believe it? Wow. I like to shoot these guys from far away just because of this guy. I kind of had horrendous aim. I feel a little bit bad about it. It's a little embarrassing. This level has plenty of areas where things can go awry. You'll see me try to do things a little bit slowly here. I have a very methodical approach to this map. Again, I want to prioritize not dying. That is the most important thing. Now that I have beaten the game, it is possible I will play again. But I don't need to prioritize not dying as much now that I've done it. So, we'll see. Maybe next time I will pull out all the stops. That switch there. I don't know how I missed it. Can you believe that shit? Sometimes when you're shooting the Guardians, I believe they're called, a stray bullet can activate that secret early, and it makes it a little bit easier. That did not happen this time, but I believe it happens in the individual map record for this one, which I do possess. By the way, the music, I know, it's been a couple minutes, but you just gotta, you know, when you have nothing else to say, just shut the fuck up and listen to the music, you know? Like, really, that's all you need. I have to tell you all, playing Ancient Aliens for like 3 to 6 hours a day for about 2 weeks. You know, I took a couple days off to recharge. Has maybe been one of the most fulfilling, enjoyable projects I've ever done with this game. Like I said, I've been speedrunning Doom for a very long time. For about 12 and a half years or so. Somehow that shotgunner almost ended my career. Look at this. But like, I used to do a lot more movies when I was younger. I had a little bit more stamina than I do now. But this is one of the longest demos I've ever done. This is the longest record I own. And again, the music. This is probably, if you were to ask me like today, and this answer changes frequently, but if you were to ask me today, I would tell you that this is my favorite song in the game. But yeah, I've had such a great time. I would like to take this moment to just say I love Doom. It is my favorite game. And lucky for me, it's also the best game of all time. I really lucked out when you think about it. You know, because there's a lot of people, their favorite games ever made are not the best of all time. Not me. I'm very lucky in that my favorite game also happens to be the best. But this is my favorite WAD. Tied. You know, I want to say it's my favorite because I just did it. I just did the thing, right? But like, I like Memento Mori as well. It's pretty good. I like it. But just, I don't know. I had a really good time. I don't know what else to say. If anything, I hope watching this makes you appreciate that you don't need to spend $9 million a year on your Game Pass and your fucking Xbox, PlayStations, your fucking horseshits. Doom, you can get that shit for nearly free. You can buy the floppies on the internet for like a couple dozen dollars. And it's got a repository of shit like this. There is nothing else on this earth nor on any of the other planets that we visit throughout the course of this WAD that can compare to Doom as a framework. With this being at the top of that mountain, I just love Ancient Aliens. I don't know, man. Like, just bear with me here. Coming up with shit to say for 4 hours is not the easiest thing in the world, okay? Alright? Sometimes I just need to do this for a little bit. Oh, and then the music resets. There's monster block line deaths here, which are very beneficial. You see these guys can't come in here? Horrible rocket usage, I must admit. But for a quick moment, let me go back to sucking alien cock. I love Ancient Aliens. And again, this is about a 2-week project. And I've had a great time. I ruined my sleep schedule. I consumed a large amount of stimulants in the form of caffeine. I consumed a large amount of marijuana smoke. I don't typically smoke marijuana. Typically, I ingest marijuana, as it is healthier overall for your body, as you don't destroy your lungs and esophagus with smoke. But throughout these 2 weeks, I decided I would smoke marijuana. Something about that felt more in tune with the activity. In the very beginning, at the first section of the game, you do smoke something. I don't know what you're smoking. Maybe some DMT. I don't know. I didn't have any DMT on hand, and if I did, it would make playing the game very difficult. But I did pick up smoking marijuana for 2 weeks, which I haven't done that frequently. The last time I did that was in November, but you know, that was for different reasons. But again, I'm a little bit of a interesting individual sometimes. I think I have to come up with something else to do now, you know? Like, every day I was waking up and I was like, all right, today is gonna be the day. And there's that level of optimism that now I need to come up with something else to fill the void. But I will tell you, I forgot to get the plasma gun, by the way. So you get the plasma, first you run up to it and you teleport, and then you have to go back up to get the plasma. But I go in here to wake these guys up so I can use the rockets. And then when I killed them, I totally forgot to get the plasma gun. And you'll see me, I did not even realize it until the next level when I went to hit the oh shit button. And I didn't have an oh shit button. So, very funny. But, yeah, anyway. Without trying to sound a little bit too bizarre, this was a very religious experience for me. This is my favorite WAD in my favorite game. You might have thought, oh shit, I should have done this a long time ago. If it's my favorite WAD in my favorite game, you know, like, shouldn't I have done this, like, a long time ago? And I agree. I really should have. But, better late than never, huh? The truth is, I don't think I was good enough to do this until... maybe until 2023? So, but I really should have done it in 2023. Instead, I was playing shit like Icarus, which is another excellent work. By the way, speaking of excellent work, Stew Boy, once again. So here's where I would hit 6 and then nothing happened, and I was like, oh shit, but there's a plasma gun there. But the reason why I don't like that plasma gun there is because that gap of time that it took me to switch to it because I picked it up is why that Archvile did damage to me. So, otherwise I would have been able to kill that guy without taking a hit. So, I did end up getting fucked to some degree, and not in a good dick way. I think I killed that Archvile there, very lucky. These motherfuckers have killed me so many times. I don't know why I ran over here. This is a stupid idea. I sat there for a moment thinking, like, what was I doing? Why did I go this way? Really stupid idea. So now I'm kind of like stuck here. Oh, fuck. I gotta kill these fucking guys. One thing I do like about them is that they work like barrels upon death, so it's really easy to get chain kills with the Guardians. At least I believe they're called Guardians. By the way, we're only an hour in and I have consumed my entire glass of water. So, either I'm gonna have to pause at some point, or I'm gonna be parched. This level's awesome, by the way. But one thing about this level, I've died here a few times. It's not particularly difficult, but that section with the Guardians is the most difficult. I've died there twice. And then I died on this level somewhere else another time because of an Archvile. But the thing about this level is, when I'm playing this level, often my mind is in level 15, which is the next level. This is 14. Because 15, I want to say, is the third most difficult of the entire game, with the most difficult being 28 and the second most difficult being 29. And the fourth, I will be honest, is 26. And I will explain more about why that is later. But in short, boom ledges. Boom ledges, everybody. If you don't know what it means, just wait an hour and a half and I'll tell you then. Or 2 hours. It's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a while till you find out. I like to shoot these guys from over here. Why not? Whatever. Safety first. In the United States, we used to have a government agency called OSHA, which was formerly responsible for workplace safety. I was going to make a joke about this run being OSHA compliant. However, we no longer have OSHA, so it's kind of a joke that is not as funny anymore. But anyway, I love this bridge, this light bridge. Yeah, shit is beautiful, man. All these pretty colors. You got your blues. This is just such a colorful fucking game, you know? Like, it's got your blues, it's got your pinks, your purples, a little bit of orange, a little bit of green. You don't see fucking orange, green, pink, and purple in Doom often. But when they're here, they just work so fucking flawlessly. Again, it's a perfect WAD. It's perfect. Not the best movement in my entire life. That's it. End of sentence. I could use rockets or cells here, but there's part of me that's just scared about map 15. So, I want to kind of get there, you know, as late as I can. I'm kind of scared. Yeah, let's use the chain gun. Yeah, woo! Map 15 is a big deal breaker. I died in map 15 more than any other level with about 5 or 6 deaths, I believe. So, at the very beginning, you spawn on the pusillanimous platform. where you hide in the corner and kill the pain elemental in a safe area. I use that strategy. Then I like to hide around here and shoot all these fucking guys. The beginning of this level is the most difficult. There's a large amount of flying revenants that shoot like 5 or 6 fucking rockets in one fucking swoop. There's a cyber demon, which can just kind of show up anywhere. At any minute, they're lurking around. They can just one-shot you if you're not careful. This spider mastermind just like blocks the whole fucking goddamn hallway, so you can't really move in that direction. You got these guys, which are just causing me a lot of problems. You got the music, which is really good, and I'm trying to focus on how good it is, but then this shit keeps going on. There is a way to do this where you avoid killing all these guys right here, but it revolves around relying on hoping you don't get fucked by the RNG. And I did that at first, at the beginning of my 2-week expedition into the world of aliens. I did use the bullshit 15 strategy, and then I just kept dying here over and over and over. See, the problem was my very first attempt, you know, the very first attempt after getting out of episode 1, because to me that there is a distinguishing factor there that you might not get if you're not a speedrunner, but if you are, you understand. But my very first run was actually a run. I died on map 25. Look at this guy. This guy can just one-shot me if he wanted to. So I made it past 15 on my first try, basically. And so I was like, well, fuck. If I did it on my first try, like, it shouldn't be... So then I proceeded to die here over and over. And you don't want to die like an hour in. It's demotivating. It feels like shit when you do it. Because sometimes, you know, like, you're an hour in. You may have been playing for 2 to 3 hours. If you start over, you're dedicating another, like, almost 4 hours. You know, you start looking at the clock. You're like, do I have enough time left in the day for this? You know, am I going to be tired in 4 hours? Like, you have to know your body. Am I going to be physically awake enough to do this in 4 hours? Because sometimes, you know, it's night when I'm playing. You know, it's like 9 p.m., 10 p.m. I usually go to bed around midnight on a good day. I did wreck my sleep schedule over the last few weeks. But, I like to go to bed around midnight. So it's like, yeah, if I'm going to start another run at like 9, you know? So just dying here over and over, I decided, play it safe. Whatever, dude, who cares? Is anyone going to judge me? Probably. But really, the ultimate judgment is what's coming from internally. I wasn't good enough to do 15 with the bullshit strats. And by that I mean I was good enough to do it on the fucking first try, and then I died on map 25. And that's the thing about that run. I was considering doing commentary and showing like where I died, and I might do that. Let me know in the comments. This is how you know the real viewers are here an hour in. Let me know in the comment section if you would like to see a commentated overview of my deaths. But I died in 25 like an idiot because I forgot where one of the trigger lines was for a fight, and I thought it was somewhere else. And I triggered it early. Like, I wasn't mentally prepared. I thought it was like a little bit further along. So I triggered a fight, and I was like, oh fuck, and then I died like an idiot. It was a total skill issue. And that was like on my first day of attempts. So, you know, that kind of sucked. It would have been really cool to get this on day 1. So, whoops. Yikes. So now you got the BFG. The big fucking gun. Let me just take a moment here to reiterate that Doom is the perfect game. Can you name another weapon in a first-person shooter that is even remotely similar to the BFG? Like, okay, get this. So you have a gun. You hit a button, and everything on screen just goes... Like, how fucking... Like, what? That shit is awesome. Now, to be fair, I don't play new games. So, I haven't played a new game in many, many years. But... Still, I'm willing to bet that there's not that many first-person shooters out there that have guns that are as good or even half as good as the big fucking gun. I love this part of the music. This is the best part. I had one run of this where I accidentally hit that teleport without hitting the invuln, and I got scared to death. I made it. I did not die there. I died much later in that attempt, but it was scary. So I learned a lesson from that, and I always softly approach that teleport. So I have a piece of paper. In fact, you're hearing it right now. On this leaf of wood pulp is scratchings of ink that detail the number of monsters I need to have killed on the HUD at the bottom left, the K, before entering certain areas. And this is the first level where I need to have that written down. So the secret exit to this level is a one-way teleport that sends you to a fight, and then the exit. So there are 504 enemies in this level that are killable and must be killed before you go to that one-way teleporter. So I will mention this later on, probably, unless I forget. But I do have a piece of paper where I write all of those numbers down. By the time that I got this run, I didn't actually look at the paper. I had all the numbers memorized. But I still have the paper. So it's cool. I'll put this in a scrapbook, I guess. Maybe I'll raffle it off. Does anyone want the paper? Yeah. That's going to be my first raffle. I will give you the piece of paper. But as you can see, I'm at 503, and I got a little nervous, but there's always a mank here. Not always. Sometimes I kill him sooner, but that time there was. This fight can be a little scary. You'll be proud, maybe, of me to find out that I did not die here a single time. This is a scary fight, but I did not die here. So now we're entering the secret levels. I am going to take a quick break from commentary. I do apologize. I know I said I wouldn't pause. I'm sorry, but I am going to go get water. And this will be a seamless edit. You know, like, it'll just, like, I'll just pop up. But I have to spend time to describe my actions. So I will be back momentarily to do the second half of the game. Well, technically, second half plus one level. This is map 31 Grey Dwarf, coming right now because of editing. Hello! I am here once again, and so are you. This is Ancient Aliens map 31. I made that jump, yes. Grey Dwarf. A lot of people think this level is complicated. Hey, too many secrets. A lot of people think this level's hard. Oh, there's too many monsters. Personally, I think this level's pretty cool. So there are 13 secrets, which I believe is the most out of any individual map in this WAD. And they are some really cryptic-ass secrets. But you know what? This is a secret level. And once you learn them, it's not too hard. Remembering where things are is not usually difficult. Although, one problem that I have in this level in this exact demonstration is sometimes I skip a secret or two. Like, I have a specific route that I do, and once in a while sometimes there's a guy here, but I like to kill him sooner, but they're not there this time. Sometimes I'll skip a secret and do it later because, you know, like, let's say I've got 500 cells and the secret has 200, right? And I don't want to waste. So I do another part, use the cells, and then come back. In this run, I believe, if I remember correctly, it is this run, that did happen. And I forgot which secret that I skipped. I don't know how much time I lost, because I remembered it, like, you know, because there's that moment where you're like, you get the last secret, and you're like, wait a second, that's not the last secret. But then there's other shit in between, like, the oh shit moment, I gotta look for it. So I don't know how much time I ended up losing, but I was worried about it for a little bit. So, that should be entertaining. I believe the Hell Knight was right here. I tried to move past him, but I got, like, stuck there. I was, like, a perfect... stuck. I don't know. Help. English. Get a couple secrets here. Just a couple. Not too many. You know. Let's take it easy. Yeah, there's another one there. Alright. Let's just cool it on the secrets for a little bit. Here's this guy. I don't know exactly how that guy works, to be honest with you. Some people, when they learn speedruns, they will, like, open the levels up in Doom Builder or some adjacent program and study the line death specials and how things operate. I do that sometimes. Like, when I'm really puzzled by something, I won't hesitate. You know, it's not like I'm morally opposed to just looking it up, right? Because that's the beauty of Doom, is you can just kind of look it up. And as long as you have a basic understanding of Doom Builder, you'll never get lost in anything. However, for this level, I haven't really done that so much. It's more vibes based. Like, you know, I looked it up in Doom Builder, like, when I first played the game, like, 9 years ago. But ever since then, it's just been, you know, vibes based. So I don't really know where that one guy comes from or why. It's delayed sometimes. Also, I mentioned that during my pause, I got water. I will now take a sip from that water. Check this part out. I was worried I would die here, but look at this. Nailed it. God damn it. Holy shit, I'm so good at games. Holy fuck. I don't even... Yeah, I don't know what I was doing there. That was strange. I wish I were better at games. I'm not good enough. This guy can be a little scary sometimes. I try to ride this radiation suit to this section here. There's a little secret switch back there. So I think that's what I was like about to move on with another section, and then I realized that I need to bring it back with the radiation suit. But like, I didn't put 2 and 2 together in my brain. I was like, should I be doing this now? So that's why I was like awkwardly chain gunning those imps without moving forward. Sometimes I save this next section that I'm doing right now. I'll save this part for later because it has a shitload of cells in here. But I used a lot of cells already, so I ended up doing this section earlier than I would normally. That's what I meant when I said, like, I have a route of doing the secrets in an order, but sometimes the order's not always, forgot what side the switch is on. Sometimes the order changes depending on what my, my ammo situation looks like, what, my health situation looks like, etc. See, I was 20 cells over. I wasted the 20, because I'm not going back for that. So in this yellow door is a soul sphere as well as more cells. Normally I would get it now, but again, I got the other one, because the other one that I already did has even more. So I did that one first, and I'll come back and do the yellow door later. Now this section is the hardest part of the level by a huge margin. With a BFG, it's not too bad, as opposed to doing it without a BFG, which you shouldn't. You really should never do this without a BFG, but hey, whatever. Because there is a BFG on the map, but still, what? I don't know, man. Just give me a break. I am proud to say here, I died here 0 times in all of my D2ALL attempts. I was really worried about this section, and I will say I did not practice it at all. When it comes to me and practice, I hate practice. That's not to say that I'm against it. I have a terrible practice ethic. For me, it's hard to practice something because when I'm practicing something, I am not in the mind space of having to take it seriously. Like when I'm here 80 minutes into a run, my mind, I almost got fucked here. I totally fucked this up. Look at this. Oh my God. And then I got stuck here. Oh shit button. See what I mean about the oh shit button? It always comes in handy. I don't know how that happened. I just fucked it up. I made a huge mistake. And it kind of sucked. So now I'm kind of running around. I'm like, oh, is there health in here? Yeah, there's 10%. Yeah. Cool. So there's the soul sphere. That's why I saved that stuff. But yeah, so for me, I practice just by throwing my head against the wall and doing the run. That's how I practice. I have a hard time practicing without the mindset that I'm going to be in. Like, I know what to do. Like, to me, I can just practice the strategy in my mind. Like, I'll just come up with the strategy and think about it and refine it in my head. And then when I play the game, I'll give it a go. But like sitting there and grinding a level or an encounter over and over and over again, I don't know. It's just, to me, I have a hard time doing that. So I never practiced that fight. It's not that difficult. It's just that there's a lot of those guardians, and a lot of the times one gets stuck behind a certain section. So you have to kind of be very, you can't, like, you don't really have free form movement, right? You have to kind of stay in a certain area to make sure that the guys don't get stuck out of bounds, you know? This secret, I'm pretty sure I skip, and I do it later because I have too many cells. I really don't, but I do it later. And that's the one I was telling you about. I forgot. But, yeah, I don't know. I have a hard time practicing. So when I practice, I just do the run until I get to that part. If the strategy that I had thought about doesn't really work the way I want it to, I'll come up with another strategy. That's how I am. Not everyone is like that. Some people just drill the strategy. That's cool. You know? I don't know. To me, the mindset is a huge part of it. Like, knowing what to do is extremely easy. It doesn't really, like, I don't know. Like, I've played Doom for most of my life. Like, I understand how the game works to such a major degree that, like, knowing what to do is never really, it's always just like, oh, look at the level, I immediately can figure out what to do. Maybe not immediately, right? Maybe it's not, I'll immediately find the best strategy. By the way, sometimes I leave one or two of these guys behind and then I have to come down here and go all the way the long way, but whatever. But I don't know, I just don't like drilling certain strategies. I just roll with it. To me, the practice all comes with the mindset. Because when I'm just doing the D2ALL run, and I'm just doing it every day, or like, you know, I skip a couple days. Otherwise, I'd be insane. But if I just do it over and over again, I am practicing. I'm practicing in both the strategy, I'm drilling that part, and I'm drilling the mindset. I will tell you, I mentioned earlier that my first day of runs, I died on map 25. And that was pretty devastating, because that's really close to the end of the game on day 1. I kind of forgot what the secret was, and I was like, oh yeah. So I didn't really lose too much time. But yeah, so I don't know if I would, like, obviously I died on 25, right? So, I mean, you know. But let's imagine I didn't die on 25. On day 1, I probably would have died on 28 or 29. And the reason is because, like, you know, when you're doing a run like this, this is a run where, in my opinion, the hardest part of the game is the very end. The last 2 levels are the hardest part by far, in my opinion. Right? So, like, playing the game for 3.5 hours and then rolling the dice on the hardest part of the game, you know what I mean? Like, that's a fucked up thing to do to anybody, let alone yourself. So, coming up is the next secret level, Ossuarium Exoterre, which is a pretty good one. It's pretty tough. Not too tough, though. So I'll go back and talking about my thesis. Or maybe this is my synthesis. I don't know. But yeah, like, you really gotta make sure that your mindset is good when you're going into a 3-hour run and the hardest part is the very last bit. You know, I will tell you, spoiler, short spoiler, for this run, I had several near-death experiences in both 28 and 29. And I would have totally lost my shit in those experiences if I had not been, like, practicing deep breathing the entire last 30 minutes. Yeah, I'll tell you that. Like, when I went down to, like, 5% health on the last level of the game after 3.5 hours, after, like, 2 weeks of grinding, you know, so it's like, you know, I was doing deep breathing exercises. I was meditating while playing. And it really came in handy because I was able to react accordingly. That's one of the things, you know, like when you go down to like 5 or 10% health at the very end of the game, no armor, your immediate reaction is, oh no, I fucked it up. Oh god, why is this happening? Why me? Right? All that kind of horse shit. But I was really diligent that, like, I knew that there's a strong possibility that I would hit a near-death experience. So I was very particular with making sure that, you know, I was very focused. I wasn't distracted. I wasn't, like, thinking about, like, what I'm going to make for dinner tonight, or, like, you know, the fact that the world is ending and all this, or, you know, all this horrible shit in the world. It's, you know, I was trying my best to just focus on the game and doing deep breathing exercises so that my heart rate is not, like, 100 million boopum. You know, I see those Twitch streamers that got those heart rate watches on. I don't know what's high and what's low. So, like, isn't like 150, like, you're about to have a heart attack or something? I don't know. I'm very anti wearing medical gear unless it's a necessary thing. To me, it just makes me more anxious, you know? Like, I'm gonna be sitting, reading a book, because I read. And then I'm going to be looking at my fucking heart rate watch, and I'm going to go like, oh god, why is my heart rate up? I'm going to have a meltdown, and then I'm not going to be able to focus. That's my problem. But, you know, I was trying to maintain a low heart rate. By the way, there's really not much to talk about with this level. It's pretty straightforward. I find that a lot of these levels are going to be very straightforward, so I don't know. I mean, I could do in-depth on every single strategy I do, but I just don't. That's not the kind of commentary I do. I'm sorry. It's just not what I do. I you know, sometimes I do it, sometimes I just don't find it necessary. A lot of these encounters are very just play-by-play. Open the bowl, shoot the bowl, move on, right? This guy fucks me. One of these guys fucked me. Yeah, what the fuck? That guy should have died with that shot. What are you doing, man? There we go. This Megasphere I save for right before the exit. I like to enter map 16, which is a really hard level. Map 16 is like the hardest of the not S tier. Like if I were to do a tier list based on difficulty, like with an S tier at the top, right? You know, because that's how they do it, I guess. I would say 16 is the hardest of the A tier levels of difficulty. So it's not a 28, it's not a 29, it's not a 15, but it's like right, it's a tier below that, but the hardest one of that tier, so. I kind of really fucked this encounter up. I don't know what I was doing. I wasn't doing well, I can assure you. I love this level quite a bit. It's a secret level, so it kind of feels like it should be more difficult, but it's really not. It's got a really cool vibe. I skipped a line there so that the last encounter didn't spawn in. Really annoying. By the way, I know I said Ancient Aliens is perfect, and I still believe it, but I'm going to talk about line skips for a moment. You see, in a lot of the earlier levels, I just went through the exit teleport without exiting the level, and then you have to back up and do it again. In a large amount of Ancient Aliens levels, there are areas where it's extremely easy to do a line skip like that. Some of them can even break the game and soft lock it completely. I have played Ancient Aliens a lot over the 9 years of its existence, and I know a lot of where these lines are. So sometimes you'll see me just kind of slow down. I just stop running and just move the mouse, because I use vertical mouse movement, which is in the game. Separate tangent. You know, vertical mouse movement, you have to literally hack the game to remove it. It's a core fundamental feature of the game. A lot of these so-called modern Doom speedrunners, modern is emphasized on speedrunner and not Doom, because I guess there are modern Dooms, as painful as that is. But to avoid going on a third tangent within a tangent within a tangent, I'll stop it there. A lot of these guys, they don't play with vertical mouse movement on. What? Huh? I don't get it. I mean, I don't get it. Like, it's part of the game. It's a core feature. So for me, like, when I'm doing a spot where it's like a line def section that I'm worried about, I'll just let go of my run key and just move the mouse and let the mouse glide me over the line. These imps right here that I'm shooting at, the ones up there, you see the couple left? Sometimes I had a run happen where one of them did a boom ledge. And I'll get more into boom ledges on map 26. But the boom ledge thing, basically, they fall off the ledge without dying, and that's a feature of the boom engine and boom compatible WADs, and it fucking sucks, and fuck you, and fuck it, and fuck everything. However, I was able, in real time, it took me like 3 minutes of running around going, oh no, where's the enemy? But I did figure out a backup strategy to kill that imp. My initial reaction was like, oh, I can never use the rocket launcher. I have to use the BFG there so that they all die without the chance of them falling off. But then I found a spot where it's barely possible. And maybe, again, if I ever do a video on my actual deaths or anything, maybe I'll throw that in there. I probably won't do that unless people want me to. Because it sounds like a lot of work, doesn't it? To like stitch together multiple different deaths and comment on it. It sounds like a lot of work. But anyway, I did find like a very barely possible method of killing them when they fall off without dying. But I got a heart attack there, and I'm still traumatized. By the way, I love this motherfucking level. The music. Oh! Good shit. It's really good. It's just really, it's so... Okay? But then, like, the visuals. Oh! Like, look at these, like, things that are all over the place. Like, the ceilings and the floors that kind of, like, curve around the oh! God, it's so good. So these switches here, sometimes you see me press them multiple times. I don't exactly know the mechanism, but sometimes enemies will not teleport in properly. And you have to click the switch again to, like, reactivate the monster closet. I don't exactly know why that is the case, but it is. So this level has 3 components, 3 like mini levels in one. And you'll see what I mean in a second here. By the way, look at the visuals. Oh my god, holy fuck. So again, piece of paper. I mentioned it before. This one has 3 numbers written down. 127, 206, and 297. as there are 4 worlds. And so you need to know the kill count as you exit each world. I like this one, of course. It's the snow world. I'm a huge fan of snow themes. We're not going to have snow on planet Earth for very much longer, so I try to enjoy and celebrate the culture of snow while I can. One thing about this section that I failed on in this run, but that I am actively trying to do, is the last section. So this is the second of 4. The last section has a mega sphere in it. However, there is mega armor you can get very close. So sometimes I like to try to save the sphere. And I'll do the first half of the 4th section. I know, there's a lot. The first half of the 4th section, I'll sometimes try to do with 100 health, 200 armor. However, if I can, I want to carry this health that I get here. I'm at 197. I want to carry that as far as I can so that I can ideally get the Megasphere before exiting the level and have it be like a, you know, entering map 17 with perfect health and armor. That does not end up happening here. Although I did this second section pretty well. This, of course, again, is the second of 4. I fucked up the 3rd section pretty badly. By the way, poor ammo management here. I realized, like, oh yeah, there's that cell pack. But I probably would have been better off just grabbing it. I was saving it because, like, my instinct is like, oh, save the ammo. But I was like, that was kind of stupid. But whatever. But anyway, I fuck up the 3rd section. There's no soul sphere or anything in the 3rd section. So it's all just a big to-do about how bad I am. Look at this, by the way. Just, are you kidding me? Like, is this a joke? But I'll tell you this. When I first played Ancient Aliens, I could not believe it. And this game is 9 years old now. I've had 9 years to think about how to describe how good this game is, and I can't. It's that good. It's really good. Oh, fuck. I'm gonna have a mental breakdown. I fell off here. Amateur hour. Again, this is only part 1 in the Comedy of Errors that is about to occur. I don't always shoot all these guys up here, like these Manx especially. I don't always shoot them at this moment. But I just figured, fuck it, whatever. Let's just be a bit, like, let's just be extra safe. You know, 2 weeks of attempts, like, you know, again, I mentioned before, I did kind of fuck up my sleep schedule. Because I had a couple days where I was trying to go, I started a run at like 9, and then I go to bed at like 1. And then, like, I was thinking, like, mindset-wise, I was like, oh, I should probably just sleep without an alarm, make sure I'm well-rested. Because I can afford to do that. Which, can you imagine, going to sleep and waking up without an alarm? I'm very lucky in that sense that I can do that now and then, but the clock rules us. The clock is our master. But anyway, so then I woke up at like fucking noon one day, and then from that point onward, I was just, my sleep schedule was burnt to a crisp. And so, like, you know, there's a little bit of an exhaustion. Like, I slept enough, but it's just I was waking up at like 5 p.m. One day, you know, and I had to like do a full rotation. It's still not all the way fixed either. You know, so there's a part of me that's like a little exasperated. I'm playing a little bit safer in this run than I did in others, which makes me lean toward trying this more. After, you know, I might take a week or 2 off just to reset my sleep schedule a little bit and, you know, just kind of enjoy my life as much as I can. I hit myself there with the rocket. Oh, it's so stupid. That's the period to the Comedy of Errors. But anyway, I don't know what I was talking about exactly. I should be at 297 here, so where the fuck are you? Where is this guy? There you are? Yeah, fucker. I love this game. Oh, like, Jesus, look at this. I'm talking to Jesus right now. Hey, Jesus. Come on back already. Look at this shit. Well, I mean, you know, with what's going on in the world, Jesus is going to come back very soon, according to some groups of people. I'm sorry. I can't help myself but mention that people actually believe in Jesus Christ. I know. I shouldn't do this in a Doom video, but it's 4 hours. I got 4 hours. Look at this. I fucking line skipped. I could have exited the level here, but you know, gotta kill all the monsters. It's 4 hours. I gotta come up with shit to talk about. You know, give me a break. I love these teleports. I've had multiple times where I almost die in this section, and I really don't know why. Like, because in my head, it's not difficult. This is not a difficult section really at all. But in practice, like, I've had one time where the cyber hit me somehow. Like, what? And then I did the whole section with, like, 30% left. I had one time where well, this time, I even did that line skip, which is a little awkward, right? Because then you don't kind of get put back into the right spot afterward. It discombobulates you. I had one time where I got max damaged by like 3 Hell Knights. So I teleported back in after one of the cyber kills. And then there were 3 Hell Knights around me. None of them got fragged. And that they all did like a max damage swipe at me all at the same time. And then I went from like 200 to like fucking 90 or something. And then I got discombobulated. And then I lost more health. And I did this section with like 6% or something. That's not this run though. That run died very shortly after. I will say that run did not die on 16. I did make it a couple more maps before I died. But that was a hashtag low health moment. Yeah, hashtag. Are they still doing that? The hashtags, or is that dead? I don't know. Sometimes I don't kill this Caco Demon, but I had one run where this guy got stuck somewhere. So, a little anxious. So I decided to just, yeah, fuck it, let's kill that guy. I totally fucked up those other rockets. Look at this step. Look at that. Oh, terrible. I will say I died on this level once in a D2ALL attempt, which is really frustrating because I consider this to be one of the easy levels. And there's only one difficult part to this level, which in my opinion is coming up right here. And this is an option. I choose to do this, but it's not necessarily the best way of doing it. In fact, it's not. But it gets like a difficult section out of the way early, and it removes RNG. So, but there's a cyber demon right here. In a good speedrun, you'd leave this guy alive for a while. I told you I'm just doing the noob maneuver. The noob maneuver. But I want to kill this guy. I probably just could have done one extra SSG shot. I'm sure that guy had like -6 health left, but whatever. That cyber demon did not kill me, by the way, the one time I died here, but it was something else, which is way dumber. There is a extreme quantity of cellular munitions on this level. So you see me, I'm trying to avoid this pickup here because I really don't want to waste them. But there's just so many cells, and yet I end up using rockets a lot. Here, I wait here to kill these 2 archviles, and then once the 2 are killed, I'm in the clear to just grab the key and come back here later. That allows there to be a large amount of infighting that occurs as I do the rest of the level. And then also, it's kind of easier to kill them in the way that they line up later. So it's kind of cool. A little bit of a slow and steady approach with these guys. That Revenant should be dead, but that fucking piece of shit. Nice double there. It's not often that they both line up perfectly like that. Check these rockets out, by the way. Look at this. Sometimes I just grab that rocket box right away. But I had a feeling like, I got lucky. Look at this, infighting. Boom, easy shot. Boom, dead. Free kill. So here, look at these guys. See, it's like they just infight on this cliff the whole time. I could probably get away with killing them all a lot later, but whatever. I decide, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna do this now. It might be a little bit slower, but it's like, it's the mental load, you know? Like, yeah, it's a little slower. I know it's a little slower, but fuck. I fucked something up. My microphone fell over. But it's like, whatever, I'll just do it now to lighten the mental load. I fucked up that shot there. Somehow that Archvile survived the first one, which was a little annoying. Look at me, I'm actually doing some play-by-play. It only took me like 2 hours. Yeah. Commentating. Yeah. I should do it like those fucking, those old school horse race radio shows. You know, like where they speak like this, and they go really fast, and then another rocket, and then that kills the imp, another imp dead, and then I missed it, you know. Can't believe I only got one of those guys with that rocket. By the way, so I skip, there's a maneuver you saw me do that wakes up 2 cyber demons at the last fight. And, you can do a maneuver where you basically just trigger them, open them up, and then immediately leave the section. And that makes the 2 cyber fight free as hell. Now, in addition to there being 2 cybers at the end, you see these lost souls everywhere now. There's also a fuckload of lost souls that spawn really high up. And the Z-axis, of course, is at play here. So, if you're trying to fight the 2 cybers at the end, there's lost souls that you cannot see as a result of the Z-axis that are just trolling the shit out of you, and so you might find yourself in a spot where you try to dodge a cyber rocket and then you can't because of a lost soul. And that's really frustrating to deal with. So I decide, you know, once again, take it easy. Let's just do this the easy way. I love this little encounter. There's just something about it. I don't know. Like, you just fall into a big hole, and you get the BFG here, and you just fucking light them up. Again, there is nothing even remotely similar to the BFG in any modern game that I've seen. Like, yeah, what if we made, like, a weapon, and it just nukes everything on screen? Great idea, man! But for real, though, it's a great fucking idea. So, this level's pretty much over. You can see me cheese the rest of it a little bit. I'm going to start talking about the 18th map, which is an Icon of Sin style monster spawner level. You don't have to fire rockets into a brain, but it is a monster spawner situation. And so as a result, there are tons of enemies that you do not need to kill. So of course this is a UV max speedrun, and you need to kill all monsters, all secrets. But on a level where monsters will indefinitely spawn over and over, that definition means that you need to kill all the monsters that are spawned on the level before the monster spawner, right? So the monsters that are preset on the level at the very beginning, those are the ones that are required in UV max. But it's not like, you know, the monster spawner monsters are like specially colored, or they have like some armor or some like blinking green arrow or something, you know. There's no way to realistically look at a monster and know whether or not it was spawned by the icon or if it's an original monster, other than playing this level 5 trillion times and having a feel for where every monster is supposed to be. And that's kind of what I've done. I did do a lot of this run a while ago when I was trying to get a UV respawn demo, I think a couple of years ago. And when I was doing UV respawn, which is fun as hell in this level because then it factors in the monster spawners, I wanted to know which monsters were the ones that I needed to kill, like for the sense of like which ones were there at the beginning, because I can ignore a lot of those and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, so I did develop a decent understanding of where the monsters are, how they move, and where they should be. And the biggest thing I should mention are the cacodemons. Because famously, or depending on your persuasion, infamously, when you shoot cacodemons with rockets, they will sometimes act like billiard balls and fly into the gone zone. So the monster spawner, which spawns unnecessary to kill monsters, can spawn cacodemons. And there are well over like 80 or 100 cacos that spawn naturally in the level. So when you're at the end and you're trying, I die there sometimes. I died there twice in D2ALL runs on that teleport destination. Sometimes there's just some really fucked up guys there. By the way, interrupting tangent again, I skip a lot of the monsters here because you can kill them very easily later, and a lot of them just die with the crushers. So fun fact about that. But delineating which cacodemons are pre-spawned versus monster spawner spawn can be very difficult at the end, especially when you knock them away like billiards, you know, and you just lose track. So with this level, I devote a large amount of mental resources keeping track of where the monsters are, how they're spawning, where the herds are. You know, I do spend a lot of mental energy on that, to the point where, you know, I kind of played like shit sometimes. Like right here, for example. Like, wow, what the fuck was that? That was terrible. So a large amount of these guys I can kill right here. Saving, so there's one major area coming up in a moment here where you want to take down the cacodemons, the cloud here. I like to kill a large number of them right there, or at least weaken them. Weakening them is important because then they die with rockets rather than being flung off into the gone zone. So if they're weakened, that's very beneficial. But right here is where I want to kill the rest of the cacos, or at least as many as I can. In this run, I did end up missing one or two, and I had to kill them at the very end, which is very difficult. I want to take down all of the guys up here, especially the Cyber Demon. I kind of have an unfavorable setup here. I probably could have squozed through, but I don't want to risk it too hard on unnecessary maneuvers. Here we go. Quick and dirty. I tried to angle in the BFG to get some of those guys, but it didn't really work out. So right here, you just want to look at that guy. That guy almost fucked me. You just want to kill his. Then I got a little nervous. I was like, ah, shit. So you want to kill as many of these guys as you possibly can. Ideally, all of them. Every caco you see on. Oh, look at this fucking piece of shit. Every caco you see on screen at this point needs to be targeted and killed. There's really no way to disambiguate which ones you need to kill versus which are superfluous. So you just have to fucking kill them all. I saw that caco corpse on like the decoration, and I thought that that was like a guy that was low down there. So as you can see, I have killed every caco on screen. Now there's one or two that got flung back unbeknownst to me. I will have to kill them later. I have to be very sure about it. But this is like, so you see one or two there. This is the part, like, I feel nervous every time I hit this part, because there's a chance also that an Archvile will respawn. By the way, look, those guys just kind of line up right there and you can kill them, and a lot of them get crushed to death. Very easy to shoot with the rocket across the map. So if an Archvile resurrects, a monster-spawned Archvile resurrects monsters, that will cause nightmares beyond your wildest imaginations. So I did not have that happen here. Right, so then you hit this part, and you should be at 237. So I'm like, ah, fuck, 234. Well, I know there's like a Hell Knight or two over there. So I fire rockets at that wall, and that, because of infinite height, will deal splash damage to the Hell Knights. So then these two cacos, luckily, were the ones I needed to kill. So as you can see, the splash damage takes that guy down. And then boom. And once you see the blue numbers, 237 out of 237 on map 18, the sense of relief is indescribable. Because not only did you beat one of the hardest levels in the game, and it's not hard for challenge reasons similar to 28 and 29, it's hard for a different type of challenge, which is keeping track of which ones you need to kill and all that stuff. But it's a hard level, and it has a high chance of just you getting fucked beyond like anything out like in your control. It's high randomness, low skill. I don't mean that to say that it takes no skill to beat the map, but I mean that there's a high ratio of randomness to skill. I get as many health bonuses as I can find. I don't actually know. I think that's all of them, maybe not. Sometimes this Revenant can do an 80 damager right off the bat, and I don't want to even deal with that possibility, you know, so. But again, 18, it symbolizes the end of episode 2, right? So that's a milestone. It's one of the hardest levels in the game for a very interesting reason, right? There's not many WADs that have an icon of sin in the middle of the game, right? And there's not many WADs really also that even do the monster spawner thing nowadays, right? That's kind of like in the way back now, at least in my understanding. So getting past 18, and then this level's no pushover. This is a hard level. Like at any minute, you can just lose all your health and die. It's really, it's rough. I had one D2ALL attempt die on level 19. I want to just get these lost souls out of the way. They can be so annoying if they just show up randomly in a hard-ass fight. But yeah, just the relief when you hit 237 on map 18. It feels really good. It's a mixture of relief and fear. Because there's the sense of relief from beating one of the hardest levels, beating episode 2, and then the fear of don't fuck it up. Don't you dare fuck it up. Stop it. Don't even think about fucking it up. But the problem is all I can think about is how I'm gonna fuck it up. You know, come on. I got an anxiety disorder. You know, I can't stop thinking about it. So I told you I died on 19 once. I died on 25. I've died on 22. I've died on 20, I believe. But a large amount of my deaths in doing D2ALL attempts were on episode 1, just like dying on the first level because of the Cyber Demon or something. That's probably like 50% of, again, this was attempt 144. But probably about half of them died in like the first 30 seconds of the game because of that Cyber Demon on the first map. But a large amount of the deaths outside of episode 1 were in episode 2. Like probably 70%. So I didn't die too much in episode 3. And that's mostly because I didn't really get here that often. This is probably like my 7th try at episode 3. Outside of doing episode demos. I know there was a long silence there. It's because this part is scary. And even though I know I win the game, I'm still I'm scared watching it, you know. Any one of these guys can do 80 damage to you, like, for no reason. So, okay, 19 is done. 19 is difficult, but it's not one of the hardest levels in the game. It's got a few areas that are really difficult, like that arch vial with the blue key. I didn't even mention it in real time. This is where I died there that one time. That's why I started talking about that, because that part came up, but I didn't specify that that's where I did die. But you want to exit this level, or the previous level, with a decent amount of health and shotgun shells and stuff, because this level, Code, very cool level, but it's extremely light on ammunition. If you shoot unnecessarily at any time, you're really fucking yourself over. So one thing I like to do is use the Berserk as much as I can when it makes sense. And what I mean by that is that there's a lot of areas where it's like chain gun or super shotgun is just so much more optimal that it's just not worth it using the Berserk. But like stuff like picking off an imp or two, or like this crowd of demons here, yeah, fuck it, let's use Berserk. Save some shells. I try to Berserk this guy too. Look at that. Oh, fail. Oh, terrible. Oh, Jesus. I love the purple sky. It's really quite beautiful. Just everything. Episode 3, I should mention, is where the significant majority of guest levels are packed. So this WOD was primarily composed by Skillsaw. And in episode 1 and 2, I believe there's one guest map in each. Episode 2 has Grey Dwarf, the secret level, which is made by Stewboy, who makes the music, which, again, oh, right? Oh my god. But episode 3 has a large amount of guest maps. This level 20 is created, or was in the past, created by AD79, I believe are the numbers. Map 22 was made by SL Fortium. Map 23 was made by Pinchy Scree. Map 24 was made by Castman, I believe. And then 5 is Skillsaw. 6, I believe, is Tarnsman. And that's the one with the fucked up boom ledges. Oh my god, map 26. The most broken fucking map in the whole game, by far. By far. Oh man, that map is fucked up, man. It's a good map, like, in design, but fuck me, the boom ledges are atrocious. It's really hard to play. But we'll get into that. And then 28 is by Joshi. And then the rest are Skillsaw. So a large amount of episode 3 is by people who are not Skillsaw. So as a result, you see a lot of interesting and unique ways that these textures are used. Right, like this level looks fucking awesome. Like you have all these letters and stuff that are floating and scrolling in the sky in really interesting and cool curvy ways. It's just really nice. I like that this level has the multiple key thing. So I go to the exit here. I get the red key first because of the rocket launcher. I like getting that early. You can do the blue key first if you really want. There's a lot of ammo here, so I try to keep track of it and not waste it. Nice little punching here. But yeah, you see a lot of various design philosophies in episode 3. And also you see a lot of difficulty in episode 3. The baseline difficulty of episode 3 is pretty high, but there's nothing like that I would consider really, really difficult outside of 28 and 29. And the boom ledges of 26, which haunt me in my dreams. Ugh. So as you can see, I'm about to run out of shotgun shells there. I do have quite a bit of bullets, but it's not the best weapon to use here, right? Probably should have just used the shells, but whatever. I wanted to save at least more than 0. But yeah, I love the sky. I love the red and blue tiling. I love the design where you can choose which path to go and only one is required. I like these little floor things. I mean, this is a great level. It really is. Very shortly, I make one of the worst decisions of all time. And you'll see what I mean by that. But, I'm struggling to even build it up. It's horrifying. You're about to witness an intense trauma that I have undergone. Underwent, I should say. So right here, these 4 pedestals have stuff that you really kind of want. So you want to move these down. I really shouldn't have done all 4. Then 2 archviles spawn. And I fucked it up. Look at that. Oh. Oh my god. How did I let this happen? Amateur hour. Amateur. I'm panicking. I'm sweating. I'm freaking out. But I'm doing deep breathing. That's right. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Holy fucking shit. You know, that's what I'm doing this whole I can't believe it was total. I went and took cover behind the wrong lift. And I don't know why I did that. It was a total lapse in judgment. And sometimes when you're in like the zone, you know, and by the way, 213 out of 218, I'm scared because I'm supposed to be at 214. But when you're in the zone, capital T, capital Z, I'm looking around for this one guy, but I'm nervous. Sometimes you are prone to mistakes like that. Because, like, normally when you're in the zone, you're not really consciously thinking too much about the run. You're kind of just running on vibes, right? But, like, sometimes you do need to, like, consciously, like, remind yourself, like, don't fuck this up. Here's the lift order you did. And that's where I totally had a lapse of judgment. I realized that I did the lifts either clockwise or counterclockwise. I did them in the opposite order of the one I normally do. And so I hid behind the lift that was not up. And then I took 2 hits from the Archies. And all the safety strats throughout the whole level in 19 and preserving my health as much as I can is so that I can afford to make a terrible fucking mistake like that. Because that was a terrible mistake. And it was a total skill-based, like, and not even like intense action skill-based, but just like, whoops, I went left instead of right skill-based. You know, like that is an amateur level fuck-up. And so all of these safe play throughout the whole entire experience is so that if something like that happens, I can survive the mistake. And then when you make a monumental error, sometimes you don't necessarily die immediately to the monumental error, so you have to be able to recover, right? So, because I mentioned this earlier, but a lot of the times if you have a near-death experience, your screen goes red, so all of a sudden your screen you get blinded with red. You're scared, you don't know if you're even alive. You just have to kind of hope you are and act accordingly. And then also not let the emotional reaction of, oh fuck, I'm dying, fuck you over. Because it is emotional when the screen just is consumed with red and you don't know what's happening, you don't know why it's happening, and even if you do know why, that can make it worse. Fighting back the emotional urge to just cry and whine and fuck it up completely, you know, it's something. And that's what I meant earlier when I mentioned it's hard for me to practice outside of just doing runs. Because in practice, I can know what to do in an emergency. But when I'm drilling a level and an emergency situation happens, I'm not going to react in the same emotional way that I would when I'm over 2 hours in to a game and that same thing happens. And I'm faced with the prospect of like, oh no, I'm 2 hours in, don't fuck this up, idiot, you know? That emotional state is something it's hard for, I can't manufacture it in practice. You can't practice that emotional state outside of just doing the runs, you know, so. But that's an example of why I mentioned that. Because by this point, I have been playing for about 2 weeks. 144 total attempts. I'd say about maybe 40 of those got out of episode 1. So, like, I did have a lot of practice with that emotional state of, oh no, I fucked up, it's all over. Let's not focus my brain on how it's all over, and instead focus my brain on the 1% chance that I make it out of this goddamn mess. It might seem like I'm just rambling, and I am. I've ran out of material many hours ago. However, that is an important thing that I think should be noted. Speedrunning is not just about what you're doing and how to do it, but also it's about there's a level of a mindset you need to have that it's hard to explain, you know? Like, just sitting here and sitting down, like, this is a hard game. And like I said, the hardest part of the game is the very end. The last 2 levels are the hardest part. So, like, just sitting here and having this intense focus for, like, 3.5 hours. And again, chances are you're not going to beat the game on the first try of the day, you know? So, like, really, you want to be mentally sharp for, like, 7 hours. You know, like, that's not necessarily the easiest thing in the world. And that's a huge part of doing something like this, is the mental undertaking of, like, knowing when not to stress about something, knowing when to just take it easy, knowing when to just chill out, because I need to save my mental energy for when I have a near-death experience on the last level of the game, which I did. Oh, man, I can't wait to get there, because it's, man, oh, it's terrifying. I can't believe it. I managed to make it out, but whatever. You'll see shortly. So this guy right here, you can cheese it hard by just killing him. This guy teleports throughout the map, as you've noticed, and will follow you. This level is called Cyberbullying Beyond Earth. Great name, by the way. Except it's reversed, because this guy is the bully, and he follows you around and fucks you over. But you can cheese him. I cheese him. You know, I'm over 2 hours in. I fell on the floor like a dumbass. I did it again. And then I do it right this time. Properly get the angle. Again, that's a vert mouse section I use. Just the mouse movement. But, like, again, I'm 2 hours in. You bet your sweet ass bippy I'm gonna cheese that bitch. So ammo here is a little bit of a concern, so I do like to punch these guys. I like to save my rockets, but the problem with saving your rockets is that the next best weapon is the super shotgun, of which there is quite a bit of a shortage of rounds for. So you do want to kind of balance your shotgun usage with your punching. Like, I use the rockets for these guys here, for sure. Cells as well. I do have a lot of cells, but I want to save them. It's my oh shit button. Now again, if I were to do this again, I would probably spend the cells. You know, I don't need 238 oh shit buttons, for sure. But I want to save them for the next level, because the next level's not a pushover. So these crushers can deal a lot of damage. The ideal scenario, what I should be doing, is you splash them all with a bunch of rockets ahead of time, then get the red key, and then because they were pre-damaged, they'll get crushed and die. That's what I should be doing. That's the best way to go about it. Instead, I did whatever this is. I don't know. Whatever, you know. Yeah, those 2 rockets, I needed them. So coming up is a level I've died on this level. This is Acarola Orion. I've died here in a run like 2 days before I got this one. So my most recent furthest death in the game was here. And it was because of something excruciatingly ridiculous. Like, again, like, you know that shit that happened on map 20 with the Archviles and how I almost died for the dumbest reason imaginable? It was on par with that. I made a really stupid mistake, but it wasn't like a mistake with the encounter. It was a mistake just like loading an encounter, you know, like just like a cognitive level. Just what the fuck am I doing? That said, so I went after that and got the record for the individual map. So I got the map 22 record. So I was like, all right, I got my revenge on this fucking map. But then, and you're about to see it, something catastrophic is going to happen at the end of this level here. Something that causes me concern for my mental well-being. Because it was such an unforced... Like, it took skill to make the mistake. Like, I needed to do something stupid and pompous and ridiculous and dumb in order for what happened to take place. And you'll see what I mean when we get there. It's at the end of this level with the last encounter. Or second to last, depending on how you would divide it. I can't believe this one guy hit me here, by the way. I was so pissed off about the splash damage distribution. So in this section here, you want to kill these guys. Sometimes you save them for later. You want to kill these Archies you have to kill. I mean, you don't have to, but you really want to kill them. Trust me. It's both like quicker in a lot of ways, assuming you get quick shots. I forgot about this fucking guy here. This paint element totally slipped my mind, which is really funny because I told you I just got the map record for this one. So the fact that I forgot that guy is hilarious to me. And then there's revenants firing upon me from across the whole fucking map. So, like, that's what you gotta be wary of, are those revenants and, in some cases, arachnotrons that just snipe you from across the game. You just gotta watch out. You just gotta be scared, and you gotta shit yourself a little bit. But really, I mean... fundamentally, like, again, episode 3 has a higher baseline difficulty, but it's still not that difficult. Like, the fact that I died here at all in any run, personally, it makes me feel bad. And, you know, there's part of me that's like, I don't even want to tell, I want to just tell people, yeah, I did it on my first try. Like, that's how cool and awesome and good I am. I did everything on my first try because I'm the best, you know? Look at me. But, like, you know, I died on map 22. It was embarrassing. It was in a stupid way. I feel bad about it. It makes me look bad. You know, that's why I might even not do a video compilation of all my deaths, because they are embarrassing. It's like, I died in the dumbest ways. And a lot of the time, it's just because, like, you know, some days I would sit here for, like, 9-10 hours. You know, like, I'd get up and go for a walk for, like, 10 minutes in between like sessions or whatever, so it's not like I'm sitting in the chair and not moving for that period of time. But like sometimes like you hit 22 and you're just tired, and like that's the thing, is like when you're just really tired, you just make stupid decisions that you wouldn't normally make, and it's hard to predict as well. Like, it's hard to know ahead of time, oh, I'm so tired that I'm going to do a stupid thing here, specifically. It just kind of happens, you know? Like, stupid-ass mistakes after playing for, like, 7 or 8 hours. And again, this is, yes, it's playing a video game, right? It's not like, you know, doing a physical labor for 8 hours by any stretch. But it's like, it's mentally tasking, and it's like, this is, you know, you have to move your arms and hands. Like, there's really no breaks here, right? So it's like, mental and physical, it is taxing, right? So like, it's hard to know when you're going to make an error like that, and so it feels bad, it is embarrassing, but it is a part of the experience. When you do a run that's like this in length, it really does, you know, it takes a certain level of mental fortitude, as well as it takes a nice, you have to have a strong relationship with your body and your senses. That's one thing. Like, you need to know when to just quit for the night. Because, yeah, like I told you earlier, there were multiple times where I would go like 12 hours. 1 or 2 days where I would go 12 hours. And I remember, like, I popped an energy drink at like 10 p.m. And I was like, all right, I'm going all night. But then it's like 3 a.m. You make a stupid fucking decision because you're fucking tired and you're running on fumes, you know? So it's like, you gotta pace yourself. You can't just throw. I mean, hey, if I would have gotten it in that night, hey, wouldn't that be cool? Stayed up all night and I got it on energy drinks. Wouldn't that have been awesome? That's a story to tell. But I fucked it up. I died. I don't think that was when I died on 22. I think that's when I died on 18 that night. But still, like, right here I'm waiting for a pin elemental. There's 2 really I'm waiting for. I don't have to wait here, but I'm just taking it easy. Whatever, dude. Who cares? But again, the knowing your body, knowing when to quit, you know, that's something I had to learn a little bit. I went to my limit, you know, like, can I stay up until 3 a.m. running on energy drinks? Is that a recipe for success? And I learned that no, it is not. Sleeping nicely, making sure you get not too much caffeine, because then that fucked with my sleep. But enough caffeine, a nice 1 cup of black coffee. That's what I did this run off. 1 singular damn fine cup of joe. And that's all I needed. That and like 3 cups of water. So here's where I make a monumental... I switch to the super shotgun for an unreasonable reason. Or I switch to the rocket launcher to shoot that mank. And then from the rocket, I switch to the super shotgun. For no reason. And then that demon scares me. So I'm like, oh no, I'm scared. And then I'm using the super shotgun, which is making this more... I should just be using plasma all the way. So then this happens. And I'm like, why am I using the super shotgun? So then I press the oh shit button. See, this is why I have the oh shit button. It's great. It's a great button. But also, again, I should not have, and I really couldn't blame tiredness. I was like maybe like 5 or 6 p.m. Because again, my sleep schedule shot. I woke up at like noon this day. But it's like 5 or 6 p.m. So I'm like getting, you know, late still. I've been playing for maybe, at this point, maybe about 3 hours total. And again, like, I will be honest with you, my sleep schedule has been shot and I haven't been sleeping that well. So that's been another factor. Because I did push myself a little bit too much and I hit my body-mind limit. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do like 1 solid run today, and that's the day that I got it. But my point being that, like, that's the kind of mistake you make when you're late in the game. And so, like, in my head, it's like, oh, these levels are not too hard. But then sometimes I'm trying to play it safe. Oh yeah, I'm going to use the super shotgun. Save on ammo. Play it safe. But that's the exact problem that gets me into an oh shit moment, you know? So I was really pissed off about that, but I made it. I survived somehow. So I mentioned earlier about line skips. You can line skip some of these teleports, either this one or the previous set of arches, and that can be so fucked. So I go through those really slowly for that reason. So now we hit the longest level of the game, Trinari Temple. This level has 1 or 2 sections that are kind of like difficult, but the rest is just pace yourself. Now, if you were to do the most difficult strategies for this level, the whole thing would be a nightmare. I am not doing that. This is the level where you absolutely, in a D2ALL, especially at this date, in this moment of human history, you want to take it easy. You know, I really think, I think the record for this level is about 13 or 14 minutes. The best time I've gotten in a movie attempt was 18 minutes. I think this one was 21 minutes. So a little sloppy, a couple of mistakes. Like right here, I make a mistake. I'm pretty sure. Yep, I fall off. Yeah, that's... And when you fall off, it kind of sucks, because it's like, ugh. It's ugly, you know, whatever. But to me, this section is one of the hard sections of the game I was describing. Like, this fight, and then there's another one later that can be a little scary. But again, a lot of this, like, one of the largest things with this level is the endurance. And again, it's a 20-ish minute level. So, another factor is making sure you kill everything and remembering the guys that you didn't kill, knowing where to find them, you know, keeping track of all the little crannies that you went into, all the guys you killed in a section you don't normally. Sometimes I'll kill guys because they're so convenient. I'll kill them earlier than I would or later than I would, you know, stuff like that. So being able to make sure you keep that mental map is very important. Sometimes you can get a lucky block map on those arachnotrons. I did not really get it there, but sometimes you can kill like both of them in like 3 shots total or something, which is pretty cool. I don't exactly know if it's actually the block map or just like, I don't know. I think it's the block map, but it could just be something to do with the geometry too. But again, this is a long-ass level. I really, to me, this level divides episode 3. So, like, episode 3, it's the last episode. It's full of the hardest levels, for sure. But 19, 20, 21, and 22 are, you know, not terribly difficult. This one is really long, and it's definitely harder than all the previous episode 3 levels so far. It's not that hard. It's not as hard as an 18, and it's not as hard as a 28 or 29 or a 15, for sure. But it's hard. Okay, it's not easy by any means. It's not a walk in the park. Right, but when you get after this, like, when you beat this level, there's this sense of, oh shit, we're almost there. And that's like another thing. When on the discussion of mindset, there is a level of like, oh, we're almost there, let's get this over with. Especially when you've been playing the game for like hours and hours and hours. Or like, you know, this is about 2 weeks of about an average of like, not counting the days I took off. I took like 3 or 4 days off in the middle of it. You know, just scattered around, you know, gotta rest my hands. Gotta just fucking catch up on sleep, you know, gotta just put my brain in something else for a little bit. But it was probably about 10 days or so of attempts. And during those 10 days, I probably spent it, like, at the minimum 5 hours. And the maximum, I think the longest I spent was the 12-hour day. And so, yeah, I mean, like, there's a level of exhaustion that just carries through from day to day to day. You know, the days start running together. You know, you wake up and you're like, yay, it's time to waste my day losing at Ancient Aliens again, you know. It's kind of like, you know, you have to dedicate so much time to this that it's like you can't really do much else that day. Like, this is your day. You're going to spend it doing this, you know? And you're probably going to lose. And you're probably going to go to sleep upset and frustrated, thinking, why did I die like that? That was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. You know? So, like, that all goes to say that 24, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then 30 is just like a little fun walk, you know? It's not a real level. I mean, it is real, but there's no monsters in it, so. But, like, that section, like, once you get out of this level, the levels shorten up again. This is the longest level in the game. And it's just, there's a monumental vibe shift. And you have to make sure you fight back the let's get this over with energy. Because to me, at least in my experience, that makes me more prone to mistakes. It makes me more aggressive in my play. Like, oh yeah, let's just do this. Let's just, you know. So I want to make sure I'm pacing myself. And I don't know, maybe other speedrunners are out there listening to this, thinking, what is this bitch talking about? You know. Maybe I'm the only one who thinks of speedrunning this way, but whatever. I'd like to assume it's a universal feeling. But maybe it's not. Maybe I'm just the weird one here. So if you're going at this level trying to do it really fast, it's very easy for monsters to get lost. So that's one of the reasons why I do pace myself with a level like this. Because even though it would be difficult, it would up the difficulty for sure. But even though you could realistically get 15 minutes on this map in a movie, if you were to just like run past a lot of areas, hope for good infighting, that kind of stuff. But then the chances of you like missing a monster and you just have no idea where they possibly could be, right? And then you might waste like 3 minutes or 2 minutes, like, and sure, you might net a faster time than the pace yourself method. And by the way, I forgot to hit the blue switch up there. I always forget to go back up there because I'm stupid. So it might be a net faster to just run through with reckless abandon. But, whatever, dude. Just take it easy. It's not that deep, you know? Whatever. So you gotta make sure you press this fucking button here. By the way, I would love to take this opportunity to mention, to extrapolate on my previous point about the guest maps and the varying art styles. This level has really great, like, terrain detail. Like, it's not just you're in, like, this cool, or, like, you know, we haven't even gotten to the temple part of Trinari Temple. But, like, there's the lava, there's the cliff sides. Like, it feels really physical. Like, especially this secret. I love secrets that, like, send you out into, like, an out-of-bounds-ish area. Like, it feels like we shouldn't be here, you know? But, like, and the other secret, too. The other one I got earlier that I didn't expressly mention this part of. These imps on the cliffs here, you gotta make sure you kill them. You gotta make sure they're dead there. If they're not dead there, you're fucked. Because they're gonna wander into the abyss. But, the terrain work, the physicality of this map, that is to say, like, it feels like a place, you know? It's extremely well done. Not to say that other maps are worse, because a lot of the maps do that physicality aspect really well. But this map, I mean, I'm going to be here for another, like, 10 minutes. So I'm trying to find stuff to talk about. But this map is, it is really good in that regard. So these former humans can be really annoying because sometimes, like, 1 to, like, 3 will stay behind and they'll stop teleporting because they're in the closet. Like that. There are, like, 1 or 2 more guys and they're going to come out a little bit later after I've left the area. I couldn't even hear it. I was trying to see if I could hear them. But they are there. Trust me. I found them later. Luckily. I found them on accident later. But that could have caused me some problems. So here we go. The D2ALL Temple. What I remember about these arch files coming up, there's 2 archies here, is I got super lucky. I fucked that rocket up. That was a shame. But look at this. 1, 2, 3. A 3 rocket kill, perfect aim. 1, 2. Holy shit. It normally does not go this well. 3, 4. Oh, I got a double 3. Normally, those guys just run around for 15 years. You want them to target you so that they stay still so you can aim at them and shoot. But normally, they just never fucking target you. And then, so you just get frustrated. You try to shoot them, and then they dodge every shot. But I nailed it there. Man, that was awesome. I waste like 17 rockets here because I'm stupid. There's a lot of areas here that you have to make sure you check. And more in like the garden section that comes up later. And I'll mention that. That invisibility is the third and final secret. And it's kind of fucked up. I'll mention it more when we go there, but it is a little bit fucked up. Just killing these guys. One thing about this level is that it is a long level. It's got a large amount of enemies, and it's got a lot of ammo. But there's not as much rocket or cell ammo as you would think. So, like, sometimes, yeah, I'm just going to sit there and use the super shotgun on those demons because, I don't know, whatever. It's more interesting than using super shotgun on cacos that are flinging around, right? So, right here, I do something a little risky. I hit this, I activate all these guys, and then I try to get the hell out of there. I died there a couple times doing that strategy in episode movie practice. So, I learned nothing, essentially. That Soul Sphere trap, this part can be a little frustrating. There's chain gunners that show up too that you gotta be worried about. Right, I just go down over here and then kill these guys right away. Yeah, whatever. I don't need them to look at that. That guy just flies into the gun zone. Oh. If you let these guys, like, fester too long, you might think this room is pretty small comparatively to the wide open outside area. But if you do let these guys fester and wander around, it can be annoying. I've had many times where there's just a mancubus that just is nowhere, and then they just appear suddenly. Like, just like, oh, they're in the hallway. What? How the fuck did that happen? You know, like, that's happened to me many times. So, I just try to kill these guys when I can. So right now I'm kind of thinking, do I want to do the garden or go back over there? And I do the garden first. Now this section, you got to go into these little nooks and one or two crannies. And you got to make sure you do that because almost all of them, not all of them, there are a couple that aren't, but almost all of them are tripwires for like one or two monsters to pop in. And it's very easy to miss unless you're like methodical about how you approach it. So all these like little step ups, you know, like where the bricks are on the floor. All right, I'm pretty sure that's all of them. I got that soul sphere. I forgot it was there, to be honest with you. I totally forgot there's a soul sphere there. I really shouldn't have. Because I went through the teleporter at 170, got the soul sphere, somehow got hit a bunch. I don't even, what the fuck? And then now I'm at 164. So now I got the soul sphere and I'm at net lower HP. What the fuck? These chain gunners, sometimes they waddle, I should say, into inopportune locations. And they just start sniping at you, and then you don't know where they are, and then you almost die. It's really hard to get killed from the chain gunner. You know, there's enough lead up time that you can just kind of duck somewhere, but it's like, they can be annoying because it's just a wide open space. It's a cool double kill. It makes up for the fact that that was pretty annoying. This is a trap here. Do not forget about these fucking guys. Holy shit. Do not forget about them. I'll hit that blue switch later. So look, those are the zombies I told you about. There's two right there that I can see. I had no idea. I thought I got all the zombies. So the fact that there were 2 there made me really scared. Because then I was thinking, if there's 2 zombies there, where could more zombies be? And then I had a panic. But thankfully, I did not end up needing to worry about that. Here's the chain gunners I mentioned earlier. They can cause a little bit of problems. I guess it would be more grammatically correct to say a small amount of problems. It just feels better. So I amend my previous statement. These guardians, this little fucking horde of guardians, man, holy shit. Sometimes like 1 or 2 just like feels like it has like an infinite amount of HP, or like they teleport in, right? So like 1 or 2 will like wait a while to teleport in, you know, so you think you got them all, and then you go about your business, you do something else, right? You turn around, is there another one there? You know, you're anxious. Yep, there it is. Oh, see? That guy could have killed me if I wasn't careful. So this is a cool trick here. Look at that. So you go in there, you trigger a bunch of guys, and then you just leave. That's awesome. And while that's happening, that door opens after like about a minute or something. That's when I do this invisibility secret. And I mentioned it's a little fucked up. You have to run at the invisibility at a very specific angle. Otherwise, you'll hit the teleport without picking up the invisibility. And if that happens, this entire hit scan encounter is a fucking disaster. Because the whole point of the encounter is that you get the invisibility, you do the encounter. It's all hit scanners, because invisibility is only really good for hit scanners. Right, but if you do it without the invisibility, well then there's just a fuckload of hit scanners killing you with perfect aim. Oh, so I practiced that a little bit. You know, to make sure you gotta find that specific angle. So now there's an option where I could go back. There are spiders that spawn in the outside area, but you want to kill these guys as this, you want to be here when this door opens. Otherwise, some of these guys can wander throughout the rest of the level and it can cause a lot of problems. There are 2 cyber demons in there, so you got to be a little careful. I don't know how that fucking spider shot me from, like, wow. I mean, Jesus, you know. Again, I'm going full noob zone. I don't know how the BFG works, and I don't care how the BFG works. All I know is I want these guys to die. I triggered the exit there. There's a long, it's not that long, but it is a relatively long elevator that goes down. And so you just trigger it there. So that way it's going down while you clean up. I think there's like 5 or 6 spiders that spawn. No, 4. 4 spiders. And 2 chain gunners that spawn out here. So, and I was also worried about the zombies. So that's another thing too. So I was like, ah, shit, are there zombies? Because I did kill the 2 previously, and I mentioned that. This guy gives me the worst angle of all time. Jesus Christ. All right. I killed that guy without falling off, but then I started walking toward them, and then I fell off anyway. Kind of stupid, but there you go. I finished that guy off with the single barrel just for style points, you know, just 1 or 2. Give me a couple style points for that one. But yeah, like I said earlier, I don't know how that happened. That was just terrible movement. But like I said, 24 and onward through the rest of the game, it does feel like there's a vibe shift. You know, like that's the longest level. Now, it's not necessarily the hardest level. Like I said, 28 and 29 are, in my opinion, equally difficult. I think they both have the same core style of difficulty. But I think 28 is a lot more cheesable. But yeah, so it's not like this is the easy part of the game by any means. But it's like, this is the calm before the storm. 28 and 29 are coming. There's no way out of it. It's not avoidable. It's not like I can beat the game without doing 28 and 29. I'm gonna get there eventually. I'm scared. I'm nervous. But I can't, like, part of the brain wants to focus on the hardest part that's coming up. But you can't get distracted thinking and preparing what you're gonna do for 28 and 29. How are you gonna do it? Are you gonna win? Are you gonna die? I'm hungry. I haven't eaten all day, you know? So you can't get too distracted thinking about that, because these levels are not a cakewalk. So you gotta kind of be a little methodical here. By that bell over there, there's a bunch of ancient aliens, as it were. They can snipe at you from across the level. I try to kill them with a long-range rocket, but it is really difficult to line it up. It is possible, but just difficult and annoying. This level, overall, I think is not as hard as I used to think it was. It's a lot slower and smaller and more... I'm trying to think of the right word. It's claustrophobic. That's not the word I was trying to think of. And that claustrophobia makes it so that you have to play with a different style than you did in 23. And even 22, 21, and 20. This level is, like, it does have, like, a lot of these components to it that are, you know, that do require attention. You know, speaking of endurance, again, I'm doing all this commentary in one sitting. I did take a break earlier to refill my water, but I hope people have enjoyed listening to this. I hope that the audio balance is okay. I hope that I haven't been too out there and talking about things that aren't relevant. Or not. I don't know. Will I play this again? Absolutely. Will I do more movie attempts? Probably. When that will be, I don't know. Could be a week, could be 10 years. I don't know. But like I said before, I have been speedrunning Doom very heavily, you know, with a couple breaks here and there, but since about 2013. And if you can believe it, 2025 is getting up there. We're almost done with this bitch. So it's been about 12 and a half going on 13 years. I almost fucking, I don't know what that rocket was. I like to kill those guys. That's a little trap there. I like to kill them ahead of time just for a headache. Shot my foot. Whoopsie. But I have been speedrunning this game for a long time. It is also my favorite game. And again, very lucky that my favorite game also happens to be the best. And I can tell you that this is probably the most fun thing I've ever done with Doom speedrunning. You know, if you gotta pick a favorite, and I've got over 5,000 demos. I'm probably close to 6,000. I haven't looked in a long time. You know, it's hard to pick a favorite. A lot of them just blend together, you know. I just like playing the game. So, I just play it a lot. But this is absolutely... I think it's no contest. This is my favorite thing I've ever done with Doom speedrunning, so... At least for now. It's possible I'll do something more cool and interesting in the future. Or do this again in a more interesting way. But I just wanted to take a moment and say that, you know, I had a lot of fun playing this. And if you haven't played Ancient Aliens at all, if you haven't played Doom at all and you're watching this, somehow, I don't... Like, to me, this is a mandatory artistic experience. Like, I wouldn't say that this is like the Van Gogh of Doom. I would say that this is the Van Gogh of video games. Like, it's not just Doom we're talking about. This is one of the best video game experiences you will ever have, I can guarantee you. So there's gonna be 4 Archviles here. Let's hope for the best, huh? Alright, that's 2. Alright, that's 3. Oh, this one's gonna... Oh, no. Oh, barely made it. I did, if you hold down the BFG, it's a faster fire rate in between charges, but I let go right before that 4th Archvile, so there was a little cooldown that happens when you do that. And I thought I fucked myself there, but I did not. I switched the Gatling gun there for little to no reason. I don't know why I did that. Probably should have just used rockets. I have so many rockets, and I'm about to max out on the inventory. So you grab that yellow key, and then you want to go all the way back to the beginning of the level to get the secret BFG. Which isn't too much of a big deal in a movie because you already got one from the previous level. But it's cool, and you can't forget it. It's easy to forget. There's no monsters in the secret, right? So, and the key is right next to the exit, right? So you have to like get the key and then not go to the exit. So it is somewhat easy to just forget this. There's text on the ground, so I just walked here a little bit. You can pause and read it. It's kind of hard to read at the original resolution of Doom. But I'm sure in the 1080p render, it's a little bit more legible. Which you can go watch on my YouTube channel at Doom Speedruns. Some people have asked me to upload my videos in 4K. I don't even really understand what 4K is. I'm gonna be honest with you. And it's gonna make me sound old. I'm 29, by the way. Like, I have a 4K monitor right now. I'm looking at it. But I got this monitor because of a refresh rate. By the way, I died here in an episode movie once, and I got really triggered. So I'm still traumatized. I was trying to, again, the noob maneuver. So again, I died on 25 on the first day of attempts, and I never made it past 25 until this moment. So factor that into my mental state. But uploading videos in 4K, I don't see why that would be a thing. I don't know why anyone would do that. It seems to me like it would just slow down the upload process quite significantly. And I've watched 1080p films, and I've watched 4K films, you know, not on streaming, like uncompressed physical media, which is the superior way to watch any movie. I can barely tell the difference between 4K and 1080p. I'll be honest with you, I can barely tell the difference between 720p and 1080p. Like, that's the kind of person I am. But also, I play games like this. So, you know, I mean, I don't know why I'm going off on this tangent. But if you want to watch it in 4K, you can download the demo. This is why I went on. You can download the demo file, and I highly recommend. I know that there's going to be there's at least a contingent of people that watch videos like mine that don't play Doom often, or maybe they played it when they were younger, or don't have it installed, or do but are like more casual. I cannot recommend enough to get familiar with the DSDA source port, DSDA-Doom. And if you do see a cool video that I post, feel comfortable to watch the demo with your own settings. This is how I play the game with this resolution. I know a lot of people have asked me to do videos for my commentary channel in 1080p, but I really can't do that because I don't look at the game that way, and it's weird. And it would make it would make me not want to do videos, and every time I did, it would be really weird. So, I don't know. I just figured I'd go on that tangent. I want people to play Doom more. This is the best game ever made. Honestly, by the way, look at this level. The curve in the ceiling stuff, the tubes. I love the tubes! Ah! I love the tubes. What the fuck is going on with these things? The music! Oh! I know I haven't mentioned the music in a while, but oh, the music. The skybox. Ah! It's just so good. But again, if this type of video is not inspiring to you to play this, then we are just fundamentally not similar creatures. Again, you have to play this. To me, it's like saying you know how to read, except you've never read a book. Like, can you really read? Are you really, like, you know, like you just have to. It's such a mandatory life like, I would consider this on par with, like, you know, your first time ever drinking a beer in your life, you know? Like, I would put this on par with, like, your first kiss. You know, these are important life milestones, you know? The first time you played Ancient Aliens. I'm not even joking. I mean, this is such a good fucking game. I can't stop talking about it. I love these tubes. Look at these things. What the fuck, man? They're everywhere. It's just so cool, dude. I love this shit. Oh, God, I love it so much. Right here, I should have held the BFG, but I forgot to hold it. Again, there's like a small cooldown. If you let go of the BFG, if you just hold the fire button, you shoot slightly quicker than if you were to fire it manually by pressing the mouse key or the control key. Sometimes I do hit the control key to fire the BFG, like if I'm scratching my face or something, so. But yeah, I love this fucking level. This level probably has, in my opinion, the best representation of why I love Ancient Aliens out of any level. So I think the music and the visuals synchronize in such... It's more than the sum of their parts. Like, I love a lot of the music and I love a lot of the levels, and I think they all go well together. But I think this one is the best song to level ambience and atmosphere ratio out of any of them. And again, it's so late in the game as well. So it's like, it's this euphoria, this tired, exasperated, we're almost there. It's similar to like the mindset of if you've ever been on a long road trip or even a plane ride, even if you're not driving the car. I don't know how to drive, you know, but like, fun fact about me, I've never driven a car and I don't know how. 29, by the way. So it's like when you're like 30 minutes away from your destination, right? And there's that feeling of like, all right, we're almost there. I can kind of stop looking at the clock now. Like, we're so close that it's like we're basically already there. Like, we're in the being there section. You know, we have advanced from the trip to the we're there section. This is the section I died in, by the way. I forgot where the trigger was. In my first day of attempts, by the way, so I was very particular about it here. But I don't know if what I'm saying makes any sense at all. But it's like we've transitioned from the process to securing the win, you know? Don't fuck this up, jackass, is, in other words, translation. Look at these ceilings, by the way. Oh my god. Look at these fucking ceilings. Beautiful, intricate, wonderful, colorful. Again, I'm fucking 3 hours into, literally 3 hours, look at the time. I'm 3 hours into a movie. We're just noobing it up right here. I'm not gonna two-shot this fucking guy. I'm sorry. Maybe next time I will, but in some instances you can say a two-shot's easier because it really is skill-based. But it's like also, that's not necessarily a good thing because I'm 3 hours into a movie, you know? Like, I'm tired. I haven't eaten all day. You know? Fuck. And it's also like dying to something that's purely skill-based, like a two-shot of a cyber where there's no other hazards. Like the demons can't shoot at me, right? So dying in that way would make me feel like shit, and I would rather not feel like shit. So coming up next is level 26, and I mentioned the boom ledges. Yeah, that's right. We're talking about boom ledges. So in the boom source port, there is a feature, quote unquote. I would consider it the worst thing about boom, and by extension, everything that touches boom, where you can shoot monsters off of ledges and they're not dead. In vanilla, you have to die for them to transfer off of ledges. So you see I used the BFG at the very beginning. There's a lot of these like squares that these guys are on. And if you shoot them with rockets and not kill them, they can go into the gone zone. If you try to trickle shoot them with like the chain gun or the shotgun, they can slip off the ledge. You have to aim dead center with the rocket launcher or just do a BFG shot, even if it looks stupid. I had many times, I think it was like last year, I decided to do the max for this level, just the individual map. And I ran into that issue a lot. And so when I was running in, when I decided to do the movie, and I should not have used the chain gun there. I was not thinking. That's exactly what I'm trying to avoid. I went in because it's so, you know, it's default to me. Oh, there's one zombie. Let's just chain gun the guy. You don't have to worry about these ledges up here. It's these square pillars. But yeah, so before I did movie attempts, this is one thing I did do a diligent, like, where to use plasma, where to use BFG, where to use rockets, where not to use rockets, where not to use chain gun. Because again, there's several of these guys where you can shoot them and then they slip off and then they become unkillable. And that would fucking suck. 3 hours into a run like this to lose it because of something like fucking that. Oh my god. It's horrifying, it's scary, it's nerve-wracking. But it's not necessarily like there are methods to just make sure it never happens. Like ever since I did develop that method, again, like sometime last year I think. That was a nice shot, by the way. But whenever I did develop the method of where to shoot and how to shoot with which weapons, I haven't had any fuck-ups since then. So I think it is like a solvable problem with a specific route. But you just have to make sure to, like, that was a little scary. That second rocket there was a little scary. I should have been more intentional with that. These four guys, that guy right there can slide off into the gone zone. That guy can slide off into the gone zone. Sometimes those chain gunners will start shooting at you, and if you're invisible, like there's an invisibility on this map, so you sometimes could be invisible, they might accidentally shoot each other and start infighting, and then they'll shoot each other off the ledges and become unkillable. Again, so the routing, I want to make sure I'm not invisible when I do that section, because otherwise it becomes impossible. There's a lot of routing that goes into making the boom ledges not fuck you over. Here, there's a switch you can do without the shotgun, but I like doing it with the shotgun. And I really, look at this. This is going to be really hard to watch. Oh, I missed it. The shotgun spread is random, by the way. Missed it. Oh, man. Missed it? Close. Close, that's it. Ah, I didn't get it. Oh, that was close. Oh, fuck. Oh, not even close. It's just random. The spread is just entirely random. So I decide to do this encounter. There we go. Now, I don't need to do that. You can't just walk up there and hit the switch. But I like doing it, okay? It's cool. It's a lot cooler when it works the first or second or even third time. The 19th time, not so much. Nice rocket. Oh, man. Ooh, that was good, too. Sometimes this guy is there, sometimes they're not. Who cares? So most, if not all, of like the dangerous boom ledges, sometimes these revenants too can be dangerous. Everything is a hazard in this fucking level. Everything's up on a pillar and nothing has block monster lines. It's really hell on earth. I should not have, what was I think? I like even paused for a second after killing him because I was like, oh God, what am I doing? That was a bad decision. Again, this is the type of mistakes you make. That is not something I should have done. But there's gonna be 4 revenants up here, and then that's pretty much, and then 2 chain gunners right here. And that's pretty much all of the scary ledge, the boom ledges. So there's like a little bit of a sigh of relief you can have here. Somehow. Somehow. Oh. Oh, terrible. I like to kill this guy now, just get it over with. Let's have fun. I fuck it up, though. I don't really know how that didn't get the kill. I don't even know. So one of the boom ledges that sometimes a monster will fall into that pit of goop over there. That's the lucky boom ledge. Most of the boom ledges go into like there's just no map there. You know, you can't actually get there or see it or anything. I kind of waffled a little bit there. I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't, you know, get a good lineup of anything. Somehow these guys survived. I don't even know what happened there. But here's some meta commentary about this commentary video. I'm getting pretty hungry. I haven't eaten all day. It's about 8 p.m. I normally eat once a day. That's the kind of person I am. So, but I haven't eaten all day and it's getting late. So it's been about like 22, 23 hours since I've had any food. So I'm just throwing that out there, you know, for no reason in particular. We're almost done. 3 levels left after this one. 4 if you include the credit level. Don't forget that guy. 44%, by the way. It's not that low, but it's kind of low. And 179 is the magic number. So yeah, the last room of this level can be a little bit difficult. Sometimes I switch to the pistol because it helps me angle my strafe run 50 a little bit better. Right here, this is the Sukalos face. By the way, we've spent this entire time and we haven't even mentioned the show that this is kind of loosely based on, which is Ancient Aliens, hosted by Giorgio Tsoukalos. And I must say, I have seen quite a lot of Ancient Aliens. It's very fun to watch when you're smoking weed or what have you. So I really enjoy the vibe of that Tsoukalos face. It almost makes up for all those fucking boom ledges, those pieces of shit. But yeah, that's the last monster. And then we go into the Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls. At 27. And again, the music. Like, I love the music for 26 as well, but 26, I'm so focused on the boom ledges, I can't really think about how good the music is. But this level, I will be honest, very easy. It's a very easy level. There's a couple areas that can be tricky, but when you go in with like a good amount of mega armor and you're like just diligent about not fucking it up, this is one of the easiest levels in the game. And I view this as like the penultimate level. It's the last bit of the calm before the storm. Really, this level is the anti-penultimate level. Ante-penultimate level. Well, really, it's not even that. Because of 30 being just a walking simulator level. But whatever, let's just go 29. So really, this is the anti-penultimate level. But, big words aside, it's easy. The music is good. It's got great vibes. The atmosphere, fantastic. It's fun. There's lots of chunky, you know, groups of monsters to shoot into pieces. 28 is horrifying. 28 is just a scary time to be alive. When you're playing map 28 in a movie run, you know, it's just scary. I don't really know what else to say. That's some scary shit, okay? So I'm really trying to savor the moment here. This is the last easy part of the game. And it is easy. This level is the easiest level, I think, in all of episode 3, I will be honest. But it's just savor it. You know, when I eat potato chips, which I try not to do often, sometimes when I eat most of the time, I like to insert the chip into my mouth, and I like to suck on the chip until it is nothing but a disintegrated, moist pile of mush. Extract all of the flavor molecules. Some people, they just eat chips, they put them in their mouth, they chew it up, and they swallow without barely even tasting what they with barely even, I don't know. Barely even tasting the garbage that they're eating. But when I eat garbage, I try to savor the garbage. I don't really know what I'm talking about, because this is not garbage. This is Ancient Aliens. This is wonderful. But my point being, I savor this level like I would savor some junk food. I will be honest with you. This section, this cave here, this UFO kind of, you know, hub cave. I have played this game so many times for many years. I still kind of get lost here. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm just so focused on not dying in this section here. I kind of lose track of how many turns I've done. I kind of forget which hallways correspond. I'm not perfect. Unlike Ancient Aliens, I am not perfect. See, I've just... And also, sometimes guys kind of wander around and get stuck. This is not the way I wanted to go. This is not... So, like, part of it, I could play it off as, like, yeah, I'm just making sure, man. I'm just trying to, like, make sure that, like, you know, like, all the guys are, like, taken care of, man. I'm just being really, like, you know, I'm just being sure of myself, you know? Gotta make sure, man. But I'm not. I'm lost. I'm being honest. Just a little bit. Again, don't want to die here. It is unnecessary to play this faster at this moment in human history. Sometimes I'll try to shoot these guys from down here. They kind of grouped up in an improper fashion. I just love this music, man. It's really good. I used BFG here. I thought there would be more imps, but a lot of them kind of went over here. And also, like, I kind of have too many fucking cells disease. It's called cancer. So you have too many cells. It's 2 archviles. With BFG, it's not even really that much of a concern. Sometimes archviles will resurrect one of these aliens, and sometimes Revenant or 2 will kind of swing around. So you gotta be sure you don't miss anyone there. Again, kinda. No, this time I did know what I was doing. I was going here, right? This is the one time I do know what I'm doing. So coming up is, I believe, the section over there. I try to shoot those imps, but they're a little too far away. And that section, it is possible for this section to soft lock in a UV Max context. There are 4 Mankubi that teleport in after you get the yellow key. And if they teleport with walk 1 systems, which means they get 1 chance to trigger the teleport. And if, say, an imp or revenant is standing on the destination, they will fail to teleport and you will never max the level. So even though it is faster to just wait, you know, like in an ideal single map run, I would maybe even wait and not kill these revenants. But even then, it happens so often that you really should pay attention to making sure that all the enemies in this area are cleared before you go in this next teleporter. I like to kill some of those ancient aliens over there by that blue door. This is the exit. I like that you can see the exit visibly. It looks cool. But also I like that you get the chance to shoot a couple of those guys ahead of time. So I take that opportunity to heart. Here's the key I was talking about right here. So there's 4 imps and then 4 Mankubi. And again, I think the imps probably qualify for this as well, but my point being, these guys can get broken and permanently fail to load. Lucky on that lift going back up, otherwise I'd have to go all the way back up myself, which isn't too big of a deal, but it is slightly annoying. But yeah, there you go. So now I have to get the blue key, which again requires me to know where the fuck I'm going in this little section here. There's also 2 revenants that are loose at this moment, and there's going to be 2 aliens that I have the opportunity to kill. But I forget to kill them now, and I'll have to kill them after I kill the guys at the very end of the level. I have to go back and kill them. I know, I fucked it up. I'm sorry. I always forget those 2 fucking guys. You'll see what I mean. And now I got all 3 keys. I like to go to the red section first. I killed the guys by the blue door, so you could do it by the blue door. But I do want to kill as many of these as I can as quickly as I can. I like doing the red section because it allows me to use this little block here as cover for the archvile. Alright. And now again, there's 2 guys left. I haven't quite realized which ones they were yet. I'm like, are they down here? I get the mega armor, by the way. I want to enter 28 with as close to, if not at 200. Just because. Better safe than fucking sorry, man. You might die in the first, like, half a second of 28. It's possible. So there's 2 guys that are standing in front of a blue door in this cave section. might as well get that while I'm here. And I believe they're set to ambush. Here they are. Alright. I always forget about them. It's a problem. I have to write that down in the mental region. Alright. Like I said, I've been hyping it up. 28. Here we go. Do a little 360 for luck. With the turn key, no less. I'll be honest with you, like, commentary-wise, I take it easy on 28. I go here immediately to get out of range of this Archvile. The Cyber Demon on the right can fuck me at any time. The Cyber Demon on the left can fuck me at any time. And once again, just to remind you all, not in the good dick way, very, very unpleasant. I walk over here so that the other Cyber Demon walks out onto this bridge, which makes it easier to tackle. It also has the benefit of allowing infighting to occur. Sometimes that Cyber Demon will be nice and will be infighting with something. In those instances, I try to take advantage of that. I kind of had a decent setup, but I fucked it up. Either way, I don't know what I was thinking. I was like halfway noobish and halfway like an actual genuine attempt at killing the Cyber Demon. Like a real attempt. I mean, I don't know. I was a little aggressive there. I really shouldn't have been that aggressive. And I make up for it by doing this one in a little bit of a bitchy way. I fucked that up. I was pissed off about this. I just want to kill this guy as soon as possible. I waste a lot of ammo in the process, but this is why I want to enter this level with as much cellular munition as I possibly can, as well as enter with 200 so that I can save all of the healing items in case I get fucked. Also, now this guy is just wandering off into Fuckville, which is not something I really wish would happen. In fact, I wish the opposite would happen. Oh, terrible, terrible. Alright, I've had enough of that. I've decided to go this way instead. I'll finish that guy later once the bars are open. I know there's a guy up here, but I don't know who it is, right? It's a Kako of all creatures. So let me get this guy. Lucky. And now I'm kind of nervous. I'm like, oh shit. Alright, whatever. Let's just noob it up. I don't know how the BFG works, and I don't care. So this invuln, I like to primarily use rockets here. I got a little nervous and decided to pre-fire a shot or two of BFG just to weaken everything. You really don't want the invulnerability to wear out before this mission, you know, this whole section is over, so. And also, you really want to carry the invulnerability off of this ledge. This ledge can be very problematic. You can get infinite heighted there, so I do want to use it, at least have it last that long. I would argue that the hardest part of this level is over. However, I did make a lot of fuck-ups in the second half of this map, so the closest I am to death coming in a minute, and I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes from now. Also, the music here is great, but it's like, it's really hard to really vibe with it. My palms are sweaty. I haven't thought any words in many minutes now. At this point, I was heavily engaged in deep breathing exercises, you know. I'm kind of afraid to like make my move here, you know. Like, you ever get into like a 1v1 with someone in a strategy game and they're both turtling, you know, who's going first, and then you're just kind of, maybe they're gonna go first. That's kind of what I'm doing here. I'm kind of afraid to make my move. But then I decide, you know what, let's just go to town here. Map ain't gonna beat itself. Actually, it might if you wait long enough. I stepped up onto this ledge on accident. I was really scared because I normally like to clear the area. I just tanked that shot. It's not worth even trying to avoid it. But, see, that's what I mean. Like, I made a little mistake. I opened those arch files sooner than I wanted to. But I didn't panic. I didn't freak out. I just, you know, it's not that difficult, right? But it's like, you know, I noticed that I did it. It was unintentional. I noticed that the arch files are coming. If I didn't notice it, then it would have been a problem. Because then they start coming out and fucking everything up. But yeah, just do not panic. Do not panic. Please do not. So coming up next is a pretty rough section. I trigger these guys and then just run the fuck away. Normally the rockets chain kill them a little bit more efficiently, but it didn't really end up happening. So I did do a cleanup shot with the BFG, just making sure I killed everyone there. One benefit of running away that has is that the Cyber Demon usually won't be that much of a problem. This guy can be a little scary at times. Now you can just walk on the floor and go to the last one immediately, but I decided to do this one at a time just for style points. It's kind of cool. So right here, check this out. Kill these guys, get them out of the way. And then just fuck it, I'm out of here. I'm not fucking around. I'm just gonna take it easy. Let's kill these guys from absolute safety. So again, just killing this guy with... This is one of the reasons why I tried to save my cells. Because, again, this is the bitchiest bitch move you could possibly make, okay? This is like... And I'm even acknowledging it. I'm acknowledging it in the game. Like, I know... I fall off here because I'm an idiot. I was like, I know, bear with me. This is a fucking hard game, alright? I'm trying to do this single segment, no deaths. It's hard. It's not the easiest thing. But again, I would consider the hardest part of the map. All the hard parts are really, like, this part coming up is difficult, but it's the least difficult. Because you just have so much empty space by the time you deal with it. However, even with that, I managed to fuck it up somehow. I don't know where or when the fuck up happens, but I do fuck it up somewhere around here. So my first goal is to just run the fuck away. Let things start fucking with themselves. It's like when you're making a sauce, you know. You put in all the various components into the sauce. You chop up the garlic, right? You get the onions. You crush your tomatoes. You get some peppers. You get some of, you know, some additions. Maybe throw some fennel seed in there, right? And then you mix up the fucking sauce, right? Then you let it simmer for a while. You let it cook. You let everything kind of, you know, run together. The seeds break apart. They open up. The flavor just goes everywhere, you know? All that. I don't even know how to describe what just happened there. That rocket almost, I was totally, I don't even, nor do I odd. Notice that my health is 150 right here. I really shouldn't have, you know, I was like, okay, I'm going to get that mega armor. 129. I cannot handle 129. I'm in, like, I will die in one shot territory. Except I'm running around, and then that again, I should have just got that soul sphere, but I wasn't, I don't know what to say. Like I said, this is the easiest third of this level, in my opinion, because you just have so much room to work with in comparison to the first 2/3 of the 28th level. Really, this is the 30th level, if you account for the secrets. But yeah, we're pretty much done. Wow. Somehow I managed not to fuck it up. I really was desperately trying to fuck it up, as you could see. Somehow this happens. Look at that. What the fuck? Come on. Probably should have just used cells here, but whatever. I like doing the faceplant invuln rockets. It's just, I don't know, it's fun. Kill that guy. Archies. Always kill these Archies with the invuln. It's just easier that way. You can just kill them far away with rockets. That's not that hard. But whatever. I also want to try to kill this spider mastermind before the invuln runs out. Just because, like, you know, sometimes this guy causes some problems. I don't even want to conceive that there will be problems. I'd rather just take care of business. That guy's doing me a little bit of a favor, but I still ended up killing him anyway. Message to all pick-me's. They will never pick you. That spider up there was really, you know, just trying to show off. All right, everybody. 29. Once again, 29, I would say, is as difficult as 28, except you don't really get that easing process of 28 where more things open up. Because in 29, you have 3 distinct areas, and they're all kind of hard. I would say that each area itself is easier than 28 as a whole. But somehow, and you'll see it very soon, I come close to fucking it all up at the end. And I can assure you, if I would have died on map 29, I would have been extremely upset. I would have cried. I'll be honest. I'm not gonna hide it. Yeah, that's right. Video games would have made me cry. I would have been very upset because it's like, you know, this is 3.5 hours, you know, like, this is not easy. This is not easy. I'll tell you that. It is not easy. But also, on the subject of crying, I will be honest with you and say that I cried when I beat the game, too. I was crying. So, in case that's something you wanted to hear, beating this game made me cry. For quite an extended period of time. I was crying for like 5 minutes. You know, in terms of a video game making you cry. You know? Like, beating this game, I cried longer than, you know, when my mom died. So once again, paper, 164 kills and 282 kills are the magic numbers that you want before exiting each section. So check out the health and the armor. Look at this. So this section can be frustrating, but this is like, I fucked this up in a way that requires finesse. Like, I'm actually impressed. Look at this. How did this happen? How did any of that happen? And I'm not done fucking it up. Oh. Terrifying. I just got... I don't know how I got jumped so many times there. I thought my angle was good, man. I fucked it up. I thought my angle was good. So after that, and you know what, I'll be honest with you, I think that heart attack I just had was actually a net positive, right? You know, I didn't die, but it really, I was like, okay, man, okay, let's not fuck this up. Because the third section, in my opinion, is the hardest section, right? So it's like, okay, here we go. I almost died there. Let's not have that happen again. And immediately, look at, I don't even know how this happened. Look at this. Not this part, but look at this. Look at this Archfire. And he runs right off screen. Oh no. I'll be honest with you. Again, the deep breathing saved me. And somehow survived like 4 shots. Was that 4? I didn't count. The deep breathing is what saved me. I'll be honest, man. If I wasn't like, If I haven't been doing the deep breathing exercises for like 10 minutes, 20 minutes at this point, I would have lost my shit there, man. That's the thing, you gotta keep your shit. When you have shit, you gotta keep it. That's my wise wisdom of the day. Alright, here we go, the last fight. I get a really sneaky kill on a cyber demon coming up here. So look out for that. It's coming up in just a second. I'm trying to not use too much ammo. I'm just trying to use ammo to clear space. All right, look at this. Sneaky kill. Look at that. Ooh. Now, in an ideal world, you would keep them alive for infighting purposes. But you know what? There's 3 cyber demons. If that opportunity presents itself for a sneaky kill, I'm gonna take it. Okay? Fuck it. 2 cyber demons, that's enough to worry about, okay? Switch to the plasma gun here just because it's a little easier to take these guys out and it's not as wasteful. And then this is the final big wave. Just gotta be careful. It's the last wave of spawns. Here we go. By the way, look at the visuals here. I love these arches. Everything is beautiful. And the music. Ah. It's around this point where I started crying. I'm just going to be completely honest. This is where I started crying. Because, like, I've already got it. Like, you know, it would take a lot of effort to fail at this point. So I started crying around this moment here. I'm just telling you. This is the truth. This is my experience. Hashtag my ancient alien story. Somehow that BFG shot just disappeared into the abyss. The Aether. Yeah, I'm not fucking around. There's a bunch of health items. You know, if I even take 1% damage, fuck it. I'm going for max, you know? There's so many health items. I'd be a fool to try to be a little interesting and cool. And also, it's kind of hard to see because I am actually crying at this point because I'm like, oh man, I got it. Yeah, I'm just being, you know, like, I don't know. Do you cry when you play video games? Sometimes. Sometimes. I think it's healthy to cry. I was tempted to do a little bit of a rocket duel here with the Cyber Demon just for style points, just for old time's sake. But there happened to be 1 cell pack left. Because I was worried, like, you know, ooh, are there any cells left? Let me check. And there was. So, we're good. Oh, you don't... I'm feeling it right now. I feel a little bit. Like, I just felt it in my shoulders. I felt it in my spine. Just that sense of relief. Oh, man. And I'll tell you, once again, this is my favorite Doom WOD. You know, vibes. Sometimes I'm in the mood for classic, old school Doom, and that's where Memento Mori is my favorite. But sometimes I'm in the mood for whatever this is. And it's certainly amazing. But anyway... Hopefully this video was at least somewhat worth watching. Go watch the video without commentary as well. If you want. I mean, you should just watch it multiple times. Hey, I'm just trying to have a scenic route here. But yep, I have no real closing comments other than play Ancient Aliens. Go to sleep at a regular time. Don't drink caffeine at 11 p.m. unless you absolutely have to. And, yeah. The end.